I thought I heard banjo.
Hey.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast.
Hey.
This week, the podcast, we got Gus.
Brandon.
My name is Max.
And I'm Burnie.
Oh, fuck. I just pissed off Gus.
Gus.
It's Blaine.
Only Gus gets to mess with the intro.
No, I am.
Blaine just got a look from Gus that would have killed a mortal man.
I think Gus is mad because we used up all the conversations on the Periscope before the podcast.
We were periscoping a little
Periscope
bit.
is so stupid. Nobody cares.
You know what? I have a lot of fun with it, but I see your point.
Wait for the next revolution.
What's the next revolution?
I don't know.
Apple Watch.
The next revolution that happened. I mean, imagine the Egyptian,
What the fuck are you talking about? Where is it? No, wait. Where is this going?
Let him talk.
No. I want to guess this one.
Oh. The next revolution, you did say Egypt in there for some reason.
Yeah, so are you talking about, like, live periscoping a war?
Here's what I think. I think when you look back
Not a
after our
war.
civilization is gone, they're going to see remnants of our society like we do with the Egyptians, and periscoping will be one of the things that people are able to watch.
aren't able to watch it.
Or aren't able to watch.
No, like remember the Egyptian riots a few years ago when they were trying to get rid
We
of.
went too far back.
Yeah?
Yeah, so like people using Twitter and taking pictures, and it was like moving everyone across the world, and it was like motivating them. Imagine if that was just video.
Oh, you meant like a literal revolution.
Yeah.
Yeah, I meant like not like
Gotcha.
a metaphorical revolution, but an actual revolution.
Yeah. All right.
And then you'll be like, oh, Periscope. There's a point to it.
Periscope
Like
kinda-
remember
Yeah,
the
but
guy
right
who
now,
like
there is no
the
point.
guy who live
right now,
tweeted.
if you scroll through every fucking Periscope on there, not one worth a
However,
goddamn thing.
And by the way, what we're talking about is Periscope. It's a live streaming. My hair's nuts. It's a live streaming app that is available on Twitter. There was a competitor called Meerkat, which kind of started off the live streaming thing.
That was big in South by.
Oh my God, they raised like $11 million at South by Southwest, and a week later, Periscope was put out by Twitter, and it was just like you could watch the user like trends like just crisscrossed with everyone taking off on Periscope. That being said, I think Periscope's doing really well right now. It's fun, but it's not going to be around for very long because apparently Snapchat is going to do a live streaming app, and once Snapchat does that, I mean that's where all the momentum is right now in social media. Anyways, everything's going towards Snapchat anyway.
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
Put
It's
on
a
my hat
different.
if you're addressing that.
It's a different audience. It's hard for me to see people above the age of 25 or even above the age of 20 getting that hardcore in a Snapchat.
Way more people use Snapchat than Twitter.
Really?
So,
Really?
Twitter has a really small user base.
I mean,
That's
we,
why- I mean,
we
that's
use
why-
it. Blaine and I use it.
Snapchat's valuation is way above Twitter's.
The last
Holy shit! Are you serious?
The last event that we had was Let's Play Live. And everybody at Let's Play Live, all of our people had the same experience where all the selfies they did majority of them were Snapchat. Which actually doesn't make a lot of sense to me because Snapchat and Periscope, they both disappear after 24 hours.
Yeah, they're temporary.
No,
Yeah.
I think you can set it to where it saves the pictures that you take yourself.
And you save it for yourself.
Yeah. You
You're
can't
just- you're
save
just
other
sharing it.
people's stuff that's sent to you without using some kind of third party. But if you want anything you take, you can keep.
I thought
sorry.
Snapchat tells you when you take a screenshot. It tells you when
No,
somebody's...
you're not taking a screenshot of someone else's stuff. But if you take a snap or a...
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're saying the third party thing, though.
That's for when people
I think
send
you can screenshot somebody else's stuff. It just tells that person when you do it, right?
There's a certain like social networking app that a lot
Blaine
of
knows
people
exactly about- no,
a
Blaine
lot
knows
of
it.
people use they'll screenshot their Snapchats as profile pictures, and it kind of pisses me off because there's a little X, and it's like, what are you doing?
Or the number from holding it down or whatever.
Yeah, or no, from I don't know, just like it has the X, like it was clearly a Snapchat. It was taken in Snapchat,
Right.
And it's like, why didn't you just take an actual picture? I didn't understand.
Like they Snapchat, then they take a screenshot.
Right.
It's just because I think so many people are using Snapchat now, you know?
Crazy.
So, yeah, Snapchat in January, according to Business Insider, had 200 million monthly users. Twitter, supposedly around the same time, had 288 million.
So Twitter's got more right now.
Twitter does have more as of February.
That's a game.
But
The trend definitely seems towards Snapchat, though.
yeah,
at
it
this point in
said
time.
that in January of 2014, Facebook had 350 million.
Are you doing it?
What, Snapchat?
Yeah.
No.
Are you doing it?
I tried. It's just so hard to ignore stuff that you don't care about. Like, you don't care
so
about tweeting,
hard
like,
to ignore stuff.
yeah, because someone
That you
posts
don't care
something,
about.
it's like,
You don't care
I don't
about.
want to watch this, and I can't get rid of it.
I see
And
what
it's
you're
like,
saying.
it starts playing, and you're like, where is this going to go? Whereas, tweets like an instant, and you're like, no, don't care.
You can just tap on the screen, it'll go away.
I think there's comes a point though when you're just like, I've made it this far in social media. This is as far as I'm going. Like I'm not going any farther. And I've had a lot of fun with Periscope. I've enjoyed it. I fully recognize that probably Periscope will die out to Snapchat pretty quickly, but I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough to adopt. Like I didn't even get on Instagram. Once I got to Twitter, I was pretty much done.
I think it's just two different audiences.
I think I have one picture on Instagram. 2 pictures, maybe. Yeah.
I don't really see the point in Instagram anymore, except for if I have like a lower priority picture or video that I want to post.
A
and I don't-
lower priority picture.
'Cause I don't have as many
this
followers.
This is a level 3 picture.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
no,
trying
it's
to get
like,
this to
I don't,
Instagram.
like, it's
I
not-
picture Blaine sitting
Yeah.
on his throne of this social media empire. This this picture is not worthy of my Twitter feed. To Instagram with you, foul.
I've never fucked up the podcast intro because now I'm just doomed the rest of the podcast.
You're mine. You're mine for the next hour and a half. Welcome to my world, Blaine.
Did you hear his phone go off too? Guy didn't put it
No,
on
that was
silent.
you. I gave you the fucking
Yeah,
look.
fuck you.
Hey, what's the blamed it thing? What is that?
It's when you
fucking
fuck up.
Reisinger,
Yeah, it's when you fuck up.
Reisinger started it. I don't know where it happened.
Did he? I thought it started
It's
with
just kind of
Immersion.
it's been around forever.
Immersion. Oh,
Yeah, Immersion
God,
trials.
fuck.
We're like, let's look at Blaine's footage because he had the camera that was recording Michael spinning around in circles.
Really good
And then we were
footage.
like, oh man, there's something off in the distance that looks really weird. But then as the camera moved, it moved too, and we realized there was a pubic hair on the lens.
Yeah.
It was in. Yeah, it was.
It's really good footage though.
Inside
It
the
was.
camera, wasn't it? Like not even on the lens.
Oh no,
like,
it was on the lens.
Okay.
No.
I thought it was in the gate.
Okay, we rented that camera from someone. It's that guy's fault for not giving us a clean
Would you say that guy blamed it?
Yeah, there's a pretty massive pube in that thing. Why was there a pube in the camera?
Why not?
It was your camera.
Maybe
It was not
Snapchatting with
my
it earlier.
camera. It was a loaned camera.
Did you end up using any of that footage? Did you have to
Yeah,
like
we
rent
had
it?
because it was
to.
the best footage.
And I was like, no
you're-
one's gonna notice. And then people are just commenting, "The fuck is that pubic hair?"
God. There was no movie magic, no removing the pube in post.
Oh, we had no.
It's a pretty big pube.
I
Yeah,
remember.
it was-
It was a very large pube.
But I remember though. I mean, you guys like call Blaine out for that, but you also have to remember that when that happened, we were doing the trials version of Immersion where they were on these little mini bikes, and neither Michael nor Gavin would practice on the bikes beforehand.
Yeah.
Because they wanted it to be as realistic as possible that they had never ridden one before. Even for safety concerns, they refused to ride the bikes beforehand. They just got on them and rode them for the first time over an obstacle course. Michael, when he first took off, not exactly Michael's fault. These were cheap bikes. Like we could barely keep these little mini bikes running.
fault.
So he had to rev it way up, and then he
Under
punched
budget.
it, and then the bike took off out from underneath him. And he's got this bike, which is about a half-size bike, and it was just like going, and he's holding it, but then he starts to go in a circle around him. It almost looked like a trick that he was trying to
Yeah.
do, but you could tell he was way out of control. Everybody else, I was like screaming, just let go of the bike, let go of the bike. But he knew the bike would die, so he refused to let it go. Then it drags him like right towards a telephone pole and one of those cables that's coming down supporting it. And I was like, just let go, just let go. And he like goes flying off the track and then lands in the ditch, and the motorcycle ends up dying. Everyone else came running over. Everybody else abandoned their cameras. Blaine, with his pube camera, unfortunately, Blaine the whole time is like this.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it's over, he just goes, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
That's exactly what we trained them to do.
He didn't flinch. He didn't flinch at all. Everybody else was worried about Michael's safety. He's like, no, I got the shot.
there it is.
Yeah.
Shot.
Oh, this is it. So we have a clip of it.
Oh, this is Gavin.
Yeah, that's
Michael's
the
in
trials
red.
immersion.
So the same thing happened in Immersion. When he looks at the camera.
I think we also set up the GoPros on the thing. Every time we hit a bump, all the
Gone.
GoPros just fly off the bike.
I think it was earlier in the video, but yeah. I remember
Yeah.
that happened.
So the same thing, a similar thing happened in the Mario Kart Immersion where Michael flipped the go-kart and I was the camera closest to him, and then I saw it going on and I was like, well, this is happening and I'm sure someone will be there to help, but I got to get this shot.
Damn, was that a good shot though? That flip.
And the first thing Michael said was, you get the shot. We're like,
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
They're big about footage.
Is this it? We're just searching for it.
It would have been before that.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
It was
it's right at
like
the beginning.
It was
probably
at the very
when
beginning.
Right at
he
the
tried
start
his-
for Michael.
Yeah.
Director's commentary.
Plus, that was a hot day, and they're in those motorcycle outfits.
It was rough.
They were blazingly hot out there.
Brandon,
Yeah,
did
when-
we ever put a footage out of you driving around that really small bike?
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know if we did. That looked like a Russian circus. Is like me as big
With,
bear.
like,
But
the
you were the
bear.
bear.
and the little-
Giant gorilla of a man. Silverback.
Yeah. I don't know if we ever put that out. I was just
I
trying
don't
to
know,
show them.
I'll look for it. It was really, really funny.
It
I
was
was so
fun.
worried because I was like, oh my God, if anybody gets hurt, this is coming back to me. I remember Blaine was like, all right, let's make these obstacles. Oh, it'll be so hard. They'll just like fall. I'm like, dude, we can't kill them.
Yeah.
Until the very last shot when they crossed the finish line, and we were like, just fucking pound them with that fire extinguisher
Yeah.
and those confetti cannons. Just anything we can do.
For whatever reason, you guys put me as like the prop guy on that. Like I built all of those obstacles, and I was like, we're gonna make an archway with fireworks and flares. You remember what happened to the archway?
Yeah, it was
Tell-
made out
tell
of
people
PVC.
on the-
It melted and then it collapsed in while it was on fire.
That was my one failure that day. Is it melted?
That and the pube in the gate.
Yeah, the two things.
Okay,
The
two
two
failures.
times you blamed it on that shoot.
So that's where blaming it comes from.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but we
fairly.
hadn't given crap about that because, you know, shit happens. But then it had a whole life of its own and kind of carried into a bunch of other
Dude,
stuff. So
Hilarious.
that's the long story behind blaming it.
people keep wanting to, like, every time we ask, like, what do you want to talk about in the podcast? People keep wanting us to talk about the Jared Leto Joker pictures that have been released or leaked.
Oh, right.
For the Jared Leto Joker film. What
They
is it?
don't have-
Is it Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Suicide
don't have
Squad.
any set security because they've been leaking photos left and
It's
right.
intentional.
Oh, it happens like that with everything now.
Margot Robbie and Will Smith, there's like shit tons of pictures.
Yeah.
It's called marketing. They do
I saw that
intentional.
Suicide Squad photo. The only thing interesting in the whole photo to me was
Margot Robbie.
that's it. That was it. Yeah, she's from Wolf of
She's
Wall
a-
Street.
yeah.
You seen her in that?
Oh, yeah.
She's insane hot in that.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And but the Joker thing drives me crazy because it's like one of those things where I don't think a lot of people who grew up reading DC comics. I read Marvel comics growing up, but I like DC heroes. I like Superman and Batman and all those guys. I loved all the movies with them. I don't think a lot of people realize that the Joker is it's a shitty character. It's an evil clown.
Yeah,
Like
he's a-
Batman fights an evil clown. That's all it is. It's like a 50s style villain, and it's shitty. And it's like they've cast the Joker in a few movies now, a lot of different productions. They had Jack Nicholson as the Joker. He was fantastic.
Yeah.
They had Heath Ledger as Joker. He was amazing. Mark Hamill played the Joker. Mark Hamill can't play any part without people comparing him to Luke Skywalker and
Yeah.
giving him tons of shit. Mark Hamill played the Joker. Everybody loved him. Fucking Cesar Romero played
Oh,
the Joker.
with the little mustache, right?
He had a mustache
Yeah.
that he refused to shave, and they just put white paint over the top of it. All of them were perfectly fine. It's like there's literally never been a bad Joker.
People complained even when Heath Ledger was cast initially about
Yeah.
him being the Joker.
Lost their shit. Yeah.
yeah. But there's literally never been a bad interpretation of the Joker. I've never seen it. Like that's the bad example of the Joker.
Oh,
There's
this
Cesar
is-
Romero right there. You can see his mustache underneath the white makeup. It's like I don't know that you can play that part poorly. I don't know that it can be done. I think we've already kind of like given that character a pass on a fundamental level because it's an evil clown.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying
it
I
can
don't
be
like it. I
1,000
love the
things.
Joker. The Joker's an amazing character, but it's at the end of the day, it's a fucking evil clown. You know, the Joker. If you went to any other movie and they're like, well, who's the villain in this Avengers? It's like Ultron. It's like, what's Ultron? It's like, oh, he's a clown. You'd be like, I'm not gonna go see that movie. I'm not gonna go do it. Or there's like an evil clown in Star Wars. You'd be like, the fuck is this bullshit? It would be the worst thing in the movie.
So Batman snuck it in long ago to where they can just keep picking him
For
back up.
whatever reason, the Joker works. He's like the best villain in anything. So just wait and see. You know, it's like it's not going to be that bad. There's never been a bad Joker.
Man, you should have
just
been
go
here-
with the track record.
You should have been here the other week when I was arguing with Jack about it.
Oh, what did he say?
His panties are in a fucking knot.
Why?
About
He said it looks like some kid who went to Hot Topic.
Dude,
And
you
I was
could-
like,
Someone called him a
I was like, what?
juggalo.
And I said, you know what's the point? You're getting upset about these pictures. People always get upset about these early casting pictures, and the movie comes out and it's fucking fine.
And these are like what, camera phones? It's not like
Right, this
you're
isn't what it
actually
looks
seeing
like.
the final colored footage and making it look cool.
Did you see?
People, oh god.
Did you see already? For some reason, I don't know why this is already out, but there was like an 18-minute behind the scenes video of like of stunts from Mad Max
Crazy.
that got released today, and it's bizarre, like you said, not color corrected. Like, oh right, they filmed this movie in the real world.
Yeah.
It has real colors, and then it goes through all that post, and it looks crazy once you see the final product.
Yeah.
It looks nothing alike. Like if you saw those photos and you're like, oh, they're making a Mad Max. I don't think we should be showing this because there might be spoilers for people.
Oh,
Man, have you guys
That
seen
was
it?
in the
Yeah, I
trailer.
haven't seen it. I've
Yes,
seen
I
it.
saw it again last night in
I
3D.
gotta see it.
You haven't?
I
haven't seen it
I
yet.
haven't
can't
seen it
remember
either,
the
yeah.
last time I went and saw a movie opening weekend, and I did it for this one.
I can't with kids. I can't see adult movies that often because it's like I'm not gonna say, hey, you kids hang out here. I'm gonna go see a movie, So I just wait until like late on a weeknight. Kids are asleep, and then go see a movie. Then
Literally jaw dropping. Like there were so many times like that.
Let's
you
not
wait?
let's not oversell it,
Dude,
It was
no,
I
I
was
was
a
so
good movie,
like
but
just
let's
amazed the entire time. It was
trailer
such a fun
looked like it would be
viewing
jaw
experience.
dropping to me. Everything I saw
was.
in the trailer looked amazing.
I remember so many times like me and the stranger next to me. We were best friends by the end of the movie because the whole time we were like, oh, like
Were you like Thelma and Louise, like holding hands together at the end of the movie, like, woo?
seriously.
This is happening.
You haven't seen it. You should. Go
I have
see
not
it.
seen it. No, I do want to. This was a crazy weekend for me.
I totally used the kids too to get out of going to see Pitch Perfect 2 with Ashley. I was like, I don't know. Sometimes they do stuff that's like really mature in that movie. She's like, well, like what? I go, like sex stuff where I gotta go. And I bolted. I just did not want to go see Pitch Perfect 2 when Mad Max was gonna be like next door. Can you imagine if you have some like acapella shit and like you're hearing through the wall? Goosh, kaboom, you're like, oh, shit. What am I missing? What am I doing in here?
I walked into the wrong theater.
I had that happen when I went and saw a romantic comedy with some date, like way back in the day, and I could hear fucking Jurassic Park.
Oh.
Like I could hear the Tyrannosaurus Rex growling. And I was like, God damn it. Of course she likes the fucking smart guy. It's like, I'm sitting in this goddamn movie and I could be watching a Tyrannosaurus Rex eat people.
Would that movie been better if there was a T-Rex in it?
Every movie would be better with
That's
a
fair.
T-Rex. Can you imagine if Mad Max had a T-Rex in it?
Mad Rex.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Mad
Be like
nice.
a a Truckosaur. What's it called?
Truckosaur?
Truck, like the monster
Oh,
truck.
Truckosaurus Rex.
Truckosaurus.
Rex.
Truckosaurus. That's what it is. Have you ever seen that in person?
I've just seen video of it. I've never
That
seen it
looks
in person.
awesome, dude.
You seen the Jurassic Park trailer, the new one?
Yeah.
Do they really need to make a double dinosaur? Like, aren't dinosaurs enough?
It's like KFC, you know. It's like I'm sure that's how the writer came up with it. It's like they're eating a double down. They're like, I thought chicken was good, but double chicken's amazing. And then it's like the light bulb goes off, and he's thinking about Jurassic Park.
Oh man,
I thought I hid my cough drops. They were like sitting right next to me the entire time.
it's crazy. Like you could spend 2 years looking at all the stuff people say about movies, and it's just 24 hours a day, and the movie's 2 hours. 2 hours, like 2 years, 2.5 years of just like nonstop dialogue, arguing for a thing that's just like 2 hours. It's insane the kind of impact.
Yeah.
That's how I described the process of movie making. It's like take a year and a half of your life and get 90 minutes of it right.
Yeah,
Pretty much, that's it.
and that's hard.
It's very
That's very
difficult to
hard.
do that. And you only have to get 90 minutes right in this little window.
Yeah.
Everything else around it can be total shit.
Yeah.
Like that little window, as long as 90 minutes of that window are great, then you got a good movie.
Your money.
Yeah. You're all set. Otherwise, you're fucked.
So are you going to see Jurassic Park when it comes out, like opening weekend?
But
or you-
it's Jurassic World, by the way.
Jurassic World. Sorry.
Probably not.
No.
I can't think. I'm trying to remember what the last movie I saw opening weekend was, and it might have been Iron Man.
The first Iron Man?
The first
That
Iron
was a
Man,
solid
I think
movie.
was the last movie I saw
like
opening
Iron Man.
weekend.
What would be the next one of the movies that are coming out?
Star Wars.
I got one for you.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Laser Team?
Nope. I got one for you. You'll go see opening weekend.
Laser Team.
Laser Team, definitely. You will go see World of Warcraft opening weekend if you
Nah.
don't see Star Wars.
Nah.
That's
You
happening.
will not
I
go to
won't.
fucking World of Warcraft?
Did you see the image?
I'll
that they
see it,
released?
but I won't see it opening weekend. Yeah.
There's a better image. They released that image of him like, you're talking about Orgrim?
I'm going to go to that without knowing anything, and I'm just going to enjoy it because I watch those cinematics, and I don't play World of Warcraft. I don't care about World of Warcraft, but those are like beautiful cinematics.
Did you try playing World of
Hey,
Warcraft?
Patrick,
Never.
if you're
No,
looking
I
it
don't
up,
give
they
a
put
shit.
out a shot of Orgrim. Like, it looks like the main orc
There-
from the World of Warcraft movie. I'm going to send you a better version that somebody else linked.
There's something right there.
I
Yeah.
tried
It's
playing.
kind of small.
Yeah, that's it. Kind of small, but that's it.
I
mean,
tried
that
playing
looks
World of
I'll
Warcraft
send
because
you
I
a
was
better
like,
one,
I'm
yeah.
gonna give this a shot. I know it's super popular, and then I was just like, oh man, I really have to talk to a lot of people. I don't like doing this in real life.
You only like talking to
what am
people for what?
For
I-
World,
World
of Warcraft.
So I was just like, I just can't. I'm not.
Well, you're officially less social than Gus then, in that case. You can't talk to people online?
Yeah, what's up?
No,
Blow it
it's just like putting in the
World's-
effort. Like I
those
gotta like
most awkward
make
fist bump
new
of all time.
friends.
He got the thumb.
I gotta like make new friends online, and then like we have to plan stuff together. That's already hard enough in real life.
Say I asked you to punch me. How would you punch me right now?
Like what, like that?
Oh, you tucked your thumb. Did you?
You're gonna break your
You're
thumb,
gonna
Brandon.
never tuck your thumb. That's
You
always the big joke.
Stick it out like that.
If you tuck your thumb into your fist and you punch with it, you will break your thumb.
There you go.
There you go.
Wow. That a boy.
That was amazing.
Showed him.
Lugger.
It's a great punch.
He just punched Blaine like he's knocking on a door. Is what it looked like essentially.
So you it's beautiful.
That's exactly how it looked.
I hear you guys are starting your kickball fun tomorrow.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Kickball madness.
I'm super excited.
I'm-
And it's
Why not play
supposed to be
dodgeball? Why play
very
kickball?
casual. It's supposed to be very casual. People just go in and drink, but like
Not for us.
Is
We've been
there
super
is
competitive.
there
Casual kickball.
Yeah, it's casual.
Let's
you
be
know,
clear about
it's,
this.
It's not pro kickball.
No, I'm
It's
saying
not- it's not like the
people show up
enthusiasts.
with just like a shit ton of beer and they just drink. Like my girlfriend's team, she just got off. Like I went there and I was like, oh, I was subbing in. I was like, let's practice. And there's this girl trying to flip a cup of beer off her ass and like land it
Yeah.
on her ass. Like that's what the league's
With
about.
beer in it,
Yeah.
or just an empty cup?
With beer in
I
it?
don't remember. I think it had a
the
little
ass
bit of beer.
part is the important part.
Maybe there had maybe there's no.
I would
beer.
imagine it was empty.
Yeah.
Is there a
Please
pool?
tell me you're about to say Josh can do that.
No, I was gonna say Josh Flanagan just went to a wedding. They met at this Austin social club thing. Basically, I'm gonna find a girlfriend there. I'm hoping. We'll see.
You know what it is? You having trouble finding a girlfriend?
Hey, you know,
Tinder's
you
not
go to
working
these
out.
social things when you can't like find a girl in college. Like, there's a lot of people.
You find a
that go to
great
these
girl, a girl I liked a lot, and then for whatever reason it was like, nah, not happening.
Oh, I like the one. You talking about the one recently? I like the one a year before.
A year that would be which one?
What?
I don't know. What's her name?
The
No,
one that
no,
you're
no,
married
no,
now.
we're not doing that. We're not
So
doing that.
is there a pool yet?
I like
on
the one
who's
that's too
going to be
smart for
injured
blindness.
first? From
Oh
your
yeah, no, that's
kickball
the one
team?
I like too.
Yeah.
She was like she's at UT, right?
Yeah.
Grad school. Yeah.
That's a lot of
They're
girls.
not letting me get it in. Is there a pool yet on who's going to be injured first in this stupid kickball team?
I'm not going to be injured. I'm
Brandon's gonna somehow
surprisingly
tuck his
athletic.
toes
I
in
have a
when he
team
kick-
list
kicks.
here.
I am surprisingly athletic.
So
Whoa! What is this?
I got a list of everyone that's on the kickball team.
I don't really even know what this is. So there's a league where you go and you play kickball.
Yeah.
And kickball, for those people who have never played kickball, like say they're in a different country, it's like baseball for
Or
like
cricket.
5-year-olds.
Right.
Where someone throws you a ball, rolls it to you, you kick it
kick it.
instead of hitting it with a bat.
Oh, it's harder than that.
It is.
No,
That's exactly
T-ball.
what it is.
T-ball.
harder about
T-ball
it?
is like baseball for 5-year-olds.
Do 5-year-olds play kickball?
Have you seen how fast? Have you seen how fast those kickballs
do
go?
Do 5-year-olds play kickball?
I don't know any 5-year-olds.
What?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Did you play kickball when you were a 5-year-old?
I might have.
No.
Yes.
What grade are you in?
What
5.
When did you play kickball?
Kindergarten.
Up to
No.
what grade did you play kickball? Because
mean,
you went to school in Houston.
5th grade.
No, there's no way you played all the way up till 5th grade. Maybe 5th grade. Maybe 5th grade.
Recess, yeah.
So it's elementary school.
Yeah.
It's a child game.
Brandon's easily the person who's going to get hurt first on this.
No, I'm surprisingly athletic.
There's no
Women
one
on
on
our
this list-
team, we have like goddesses on our team. Like they're all like athletic chicks. They're like, yeah, I played a little bit of collegiate, softball and stuff. Like we're gonna fucking own.
Who you got? You got Shoemaker on there?
Shoemaker. She's gonna just
You want to
blast
see this
them.
list?
Yeah, let me see that.
Toss it, hand
read
that
it off
over there
here.
to him.
See these people who have come out. So you guys gonna can crowds come out and watch you guys play?
Oh,
I
we were
don't
thinking
know.
about
Yeah, we
talking
talked about that. That might
Mariel's
be really
on
weird.
there.
We were thinking about saying
Barbara?
like, yeah.
Sarah, I don't know if too many people know Sarah. She's in charge of all of our pipelining of all of our videos. Chris McMeans, she's a production assistant. I think she was just recently hired as Doreen's assistant.
Matt.
Hey, there's Chris right there. Want to come say hi? Come say hi. Come poke on camera and say hi.
Yeah.
She wanted the audience to know she's fresh out of the shower.
Workout
so.
friends.
That's
There
kind of
you
a
go.
weird. That's kind of a weird thing to say.
You just poke your head in here. Hey, there she is. That's Chris. Hey, that's Chris. Also, Megan Castro's on there.
Also played collegiate.
And Ashley Shoemaker. Yeah, Ashley Shoemaker. She was a collegiate athlete. She's
Yeah.
gonna kill it.
Oh,
I love that Miles is walking up.
Mariel,
and
I got your money.
Why do you guys think I'm the worst athlete?
dudes on
No,
there.
you're not the
are
worst athlete. You're the most
Clayton
likely to
Tom,
get injured. It's two
Tyler.
totally different things.
Okay,
Brandon,
no.
Blaine,
All right.
Daniel,
Yeah.
That's fair.
Chris, and
How much
Tim
do I owe
Leftwich.
you, Mariel?
44.
What does he owe you $44 for?
I got 42.
You almost walked right in front of the camera. How long have you been working
No,
here?
I love it, Mariel. Go for
She
it.
was half a step away from doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Half a step away.
What does Blaine owe you money for? What do you owe her money for?
She was the one that arranged the whole Rooster Teeth team. So it's $44 for what? I don't have $2 more bucks. My friendship
He's
should
good
be
for it.
enough.
Probably good for it.
Yeah.
Not at
A
all.
Gibson always pays their debts or whatever. Fuck you, Miles. You and your shiny ball suit. Come here and step in front of the camera for us. Why don't you show it
Blaine,
off?
you don't have that power.
Yeah, even Miles knows.
I'm messing up.
So
now.
Miles came in his mocap suit to come and eat pizza.
Where is he?
I don't think I've ever put on one of those mocap suits and thought, boy, I should go eat some pizza. By the way I look in that thing.
I figured that with like the black suit, I'd kind of blend into the background, but then I realized I'm covered with the most reflective dots. And
You also have two enormous pieces of pizza in your hand. That would keep you from blending in.
It would look
these
like
are
two.
normal compared to all the other pieces.
It would look like two pieces of pizza were floating in the air.
Whoa! All right, so I'm gonna go.
All right, so I
Got it.
recorded some of my
Absolutely get it.
last dialogue for Red vs. Blue the other day for season 13. That was a lot of fun. Miles is a great director. We're in the middle of producing and releasing Red vs. Blue season 13. Available on anywhere where you can see video. Now on YouTube.
Yeah, it's
Red
exciting.
vs. Blue is coming to YouTube day and date. So when it's available on roosterteeth.com for everyone, it'll also be available on YouTube. That's the first time that's ever happened.
That's
for us.
crazy.
Speaking of which, Gus,
I'm Gus.
when is the podcast? We've talked about it before. When is the podcast video going to come out on YouTube the same week it comes out on the same week we record it? Like usually we record it now. It's Monday night. The sponsors are watching it right now. Then tomorrow everyone will be able to get it in audio format, and it'll be video on the website. Then next Wednesday it'll be up on YouTube on video. So
Right.
when will it be just everything in 1 week? It's out on YouTube the same week that we record it.
When I'm not in a bad mood.
Come on, there's got to be a better answer than that.
I don't know. Get there eventually.
You know, I mean, is it coming soon?
I think so.
Okay.
Do an hour earlier every week.
I know a room full of people who kill you if you try to get stuff.
There's no technical reason to do it anymore, right?
No, it just takes time. No.
Oh, it's just time?
Yeah.
Oh, it is? Okay.
But we'll get there. What was I gonna say? Oh, so you sent me a bunch of stuff. I like having Brandon on the podcast because before the podcast,
Somebody should.
he'll look up a bunch of
Words
topics and
hurts.
send me stuff that. And most of the time, you send me stuff. It's stuff that I haven't seen yet for
Yeah.
some reason.
Yeah, it's like
Okay, so there was one you sent me in particular I want to talk about first.
okay.
Because it was the
See,
one
that's why I said I was like, if Gus likes it,
it was
might
one
be
that
good
Brandon sent me. He's like, I'm not going to talk about this on the podcast, but
Oh shit.
here's this link. And I saw it. I was like, you should absolutely talk about that in the podcast. You remember that one? It was
Yeah, that was like the Craigslist ad.
yeah. Saudi Arabia is executing so many people. They need more executioners, so they put out a call to hire more executioners.
They put like a
How
wanted
many
ad.
can it be? Is there like a union thing? They can only execute one person a day?
I don't know. It's,
Gus, I'm going to ask you right up. If you're an executioner, how many people could you execute in a day?
I think if they're lined up, what are you doing? You're just what do they do? Beheading? They do beheading.
Yeah,
right?
beheading,
Beheadings.
yeah.
If I get if I'm handed a fresh sword
Fresh start.
God.
every time, I could probably do
You need a sword sponsor for that.
40,
Do you think?
No way.
Do you
I
think-
mean, you know how hard it would be to.
5 an hour.
Is
right?
it like
in a work day?
No way.
Do you think it's like the physical demanding, or it's how physically demanding it is, or do you think it's like an emotional thing? It's like, oh, I've killed so many people and I feel really bad today. Like, why are they running low?
I think it's a setup time, right?
Setup time.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Just like
I just
clean
think it's
up.
weird in the newspaper, opening the newspaper and being like the help wanted ads. Like,
I'll tell you what would be worse.
Executioner.
What would be really bad in that process. How would you like to be the dude who is the frontline guy who answers applications for executioner? Like he has to do the screening for the front lines.
How does the job interview go?
Oh, I can't even imagine the people you cut before they get to the next level. No, that's not a joke. It's a thing. Hand me that bottle opener. But that would be like the worst cross section of people ever.
do you think it would be the opposite?
All right,
though?
shut the fuck up. God damn, there's no other way to talk to you. God damn.
I think it would be the opposite though. Be like, how is that applicant? He's too normal. He's a nice guy.
You like
what about
psychos.
that crazy ass guy? Oh, perfect.
Alright.
That's a second interview.
No, I bet
Saw
you
him
get-
on LinkedIn.
I bet you get people who are like, they come in the interview, they're like, hey man, I'm a real go-getter. Should I kill somebody now as part of the interview? Like they brought somebody with them to kill. You know, I would not be surprised at all if anyone's going to apply
They
for
bring
the
a
job of
resume with like
executioner.
photos.
Yeah.
You want to see some of my
Snuff.
work, my portfolio?
Exactly right.
Did you hear about the guy that they executed in North Korea? This got really
The
morbid.
guy.
Did
The
you
one
hear,
guy.
Did you ever hear about this though?
I think I know who you're talking
There
about.
was a guy who fell asleep during some ceremony that Kim Jong Un was present for.
Good.
So
He
fell
was,
asleep.
it wasn't his presentation. He was just there.
He was there.
Right.
This guy fell asleep during it, and they did what's called what is it called? Obliteration, where they basically shot the man with a anti-aircraft gun.
Yep.
Those bullets are about that big.
Oh.
Didn't the South Korean news agency that reported that, didn't they retract that story?
Oh, really? Oh, I feel like a dumbass now.
No, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I believe that happens.
I find that retractions are far less interesting than wrong stories. That's what I find.
Gus, if you had to pick an execution method, how would it be?
Like, for me to die?
Yeah.
Blowjob.
That's a good one. But
No.
Death by blowjob would actually be terrible, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'd be like,
What's that?
Death by blowjob would be awful.
As opposed to what other kinds of death?
Oh no, it would be so you would just like float into an abyss. It's not. No, it's not. It's not a death by blow. If it's
I
like
really hate when Brandon gets on my side.
Yeah, I do.
savaging it and
Help me out here.
ripping into shreds. All right.
Sorry, I had my phone on, Gus.
Yeah,
I apologize.
thank you for apologizing. I like Brandon who tried to throw Blaine under the bus. You really blamed that one, Brandon.
Oh, I feel bad.
Not safe.
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Firing squad? Does it matter?
We going with traditional methods?
Sure.
Yeah, it's pretty traditional.
Man, I think they're all. The tough part to me of any kind of method of execution is just having the date on the calendar that you know you're going to die and just approaching it steadily, like a fucking dentist appointment or something like that. And I just think that's like a mental torture that you can't fathom until you're in that situation. Like
Oh, and they do
literally August 17th, of 2013, you're going to die. And you're sitting there in 2008 and you're just waiting for that date to come. And that would just drive you insane. But if you got to do anything, I think guillotine is probably the best.
Guillotine?
Yeah?
I feel I unless they blindfolded you, I would disagree.
Well, would you want to look
Did you
down
see
or
that
look
thing?
up?
You probably
Yeah.
want to
Oh.
look down because I think I've read stories before that when they used to do it, back hundreds of years ago, that sometimes if people's heads weren't put in properly, it would hit the base of the skull and wouldn't go through,
Yikes.
and they'd have to pull it
There's
up and
no
redo
way
it
that's
again.
possible.
Ow!
Same thing about it. How were they sharpening it? They probably couldn't get it super sharp, or if they were going through a line of people and they weren't resharpening
So
it every
that
time.
has a problem.
It's crazy when they killed so many people, they had to come up with like a mass production way to kill people. Isn't
Yeah.
that horrible?
I would want to
Yeah.
die by like a gladiator death.
I don't want to die. I'm going to say that.
No,
right now.
I
just
want to live
die.
forever. I don't care.
Gladiator
People
death would be
say,
extreme.
Death by immortality.
yeah. No, I mean like I'm just gonna watch the sun swallow the earth, just like take up the earth space and be like, well, I guess I'm gonna float for a while in space. I don't know what's gonna happen.
I want to
me.
die normal way, like natural causes, old man. I've alienated all my family. They're all bitter, fighting over money. That's exactly how I want to die.
Gladiator.
Classic way to die. That's what I want to go for.
Not to get-
Alone in a nursing home.
Not to get morbid, but I am going to be what is it called? Jumping out of the plane. Skydiving. I'm gonna be skydiving again for my birthday. I bought a solo lesson because I went tandem for the recap. And
So don't you have to go tandem though 3 times before you can go solo?
No, so they actually offer a course. It's not going to be completely solo. There will be a guy that jumps out with me, and he's going to be holding on to my harness.
Okay.
But once I hit parachute, then it's all me.
You're by yourself though. I mean, he's there, but you're the one jumping out of the plane. Like in tandem, the guy goes, you got to go with him. You're making now the conscious choice. You got to jump.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna
solo to me.
I'm gonna have to jump out.
There's just another dude happens to be there, but you're jumping solo.
So I'm actually looking like it's gonna be fun, but it's also like terrifying.
You're not gonna pack your chute, are you?
No, they do that for you.
Okay, good.
You're gonna watch him do it though, right?
No.
What?
The chick that taught the
I wouldn't wanna
class
see it
is
either.
the one that's gonna be doing it for me. Her name's Sarah. She's pretty cool.
Why would you want to see him do that? I mean,
I
do you
just wanna
watch
make
the
sure.
pilots fly the plane? Just like they got it.
I
They do
would
this
if there was a
all the time.
webcam.
Well, and I get 2 parachutes.
You would watch the pilots fly the plane.
Yeah, I'd be like, all right, they are on it.
Because I wouldn't want the big turbulence and then watch one pilot look at another pilot like this. You know, I wouldn't want that moment.
Or do like the cross.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Oh God, I don't want to
Start
see
crying.
that.
Jesus.
Yeah, I totally trust you. I would never do that because I'd be afraid I'd be falling and I'd be like, all right, pull the chute, and my arms wouldn't do anything, and I'm like,
That's why the guy's there.
brain, no, execute the chute, and it's just like for whatever reason I just don't do it.
They make you like call out everything during practice, and they also say that you need to do it when you're jumping.
That would not help me.
You get there's like breathing techniques that you got to do. But I'm gonna be a little over 2 miles up in the air
That's
in
crazy.
free fall for about 45-50 seconds.
I once read the craziest account of paratroopers in World War II, that they would come out of the plane in such density that they would create like drafts where if anyone was above somebody, the parachute below you would catch so much air resistance, there'd be nothing for you to like catch.
Oh,
And you'd be
wow.
like
Your chute
falling
would just
faster,
fall.
and they would run over the tops of each other's parachutes because they were inflated, and they would run to get out in front of it, and then their chute would pop again, and then they would like, do that all the way down to the ground, basically.
That's
That
insane.
would be terrifying.
That would be fucking terrifying. Just like there's that many people in the air and they all have an enormous parachute. It's those old school parachutes where they're just like
They're huge.
looks like an umbrella. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no steering those. Can you imagine like seeing that though? Just hundreds of people up in the sky.
Running on each other's parachutes. Like, what the fuck are those guys doing?
We've talked about this before too, like in an earlier podcast. The rule is too from the Geneva Convention that you can't shoot a paratrooper and a paratrooper can't shoot until they hit the ground. Bullshit, right?
Yeah, right.
There's no like someone's invading your country. You're like, come on down, down.
Land it.
You're
Bang, bang,
mine.
bang. You would totally just be shooting dudes in the air. That'd be horrible.
Wasn't that a thing though? Like they used to just AA the shit out of them during the war. Or when was that Geneva Convention? When was that established?
I think that was after World War One, right?
I think it was.
That's when they got rid
yeah.
of shit like mustard gas.
Yeah, yeah.
Like World War One, it was like one of the most brutal wars ever because they used chemical warfare on everybody. It was all trench warfare too. It was just,
Yeah, it was like
horrific.
also like the real rise of the automated weaponry, like machine guns and
That's
stuff.
where tanks came. Yeah.
Right.
got that. I bet that was fucking terrifying. Can you imagine being from a country you don't have like tanks, you don't even know what they are, and then you just see this giant metal beast?
It'd be almost like an alien invasion.
I think we have
Yeah.
that today. I think we have that with drones. I mean, imagine if like you're just sitting there, you hear a buzz in the sky, and this machine being driven by someone halfway around the world all of a sudden shows up and just starts shooting up your neighborhood.
Best case scenario, you shoot it down, you didn't even kill anybody.
No, I know. You didn't even like kill the invader. You just killed the machine that was there. or
It's
whatever.
really hard to shoot up at something like that. Like you're not gonna hit it.
It's
Yeah.
hard to shoot up. You mean?
Like if something's like in the air, like far away, it's hard to like
Oh.
get to it because all of a sudden now the gravity
Well, I
is
think-
like
yeah.
working against the bullet.
Well, that's why, like, I think a lot of AA
Whereas if
uses
you shoot on the
flak
ground,
for,
gravity
like,
doesn't affect
explosive.
bullets.
Well, no, but if you're shooting like
On a plane.
on a plane, it's
you go.
you're just,
Not-
just jumping on me all
on a
day.
plane,
It's
not
like,
at a
it's
plane.
It's just the distance thing. That's basically what it comes down to, right?
Distance and speed, I think.
What's that?
Distance and speed? 'Cause
Right,
it's
but
moving so quickly.
Oh, you mean the object moving?
Right.
Of course, that would
Everything
affect it
comes
as
into
well.
play.
What's
Wind,
that? But I'm saying it's
Coriolis
like
effect.
I hear about snipers had to shoot from so far away. They have to take into account gravity. They had to take into account wind, and they have to take into account the curvature of the Earth.
Yeah, the
Yeah, that's
Coriolis
insane.
effect. I've actually heard that that's bullshit though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Not to like completely call you out, but I
No.
did hear that that's not.
it would be a
true.
very rare instance where that would come into play. So I
Maybe
think I saw.
a missile or something that's going to be exiting the atmosphere. I'm sure something like that. You'd have to take the Coriolis effect into account, but not
So
a bullet.
is
I'm gonna look
everything
up
about the
Coriolis
Coriolis
effect.
effect bullshit? Because even like, don't they say like the draining of water from a drain? People always say the
Oh,
Coriolis effect
spinning?
makes it go a certain way, and I've also heard that that's bullshit.
I've read that that's bullshit too. I
So
don't
like,
know.
is the Coriolis effect even really a thing, or is it just like a bullshit thing that you attribute things to when you don't know what you're talking about?
It's always badass to see a movie where they're like, they got to take everything into account in this shot, like and they Coriolis effect.
You did the voice well
Rotation
too.
of the earth.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, you gotta look out for the Coriolis effect when you're taking a shot at the Joker.
Because of all his tattoos.
People are very upset that I referred to the Joker as an evil clown. I'm sorry that I referred to your evil clown as an evil clown. My apologies. I didn't mean to do that.
I think
What would they prefer you refer to him as?
he's the Joker. He's Gus.
He's
a
transcend-
psychopath
He's like evolved above clown level.
who wears makeup and then kills people with a squirting flower on his lapel. Yeah, that guy.
I think people are
Not a
so
clown.
far away from like the classic representation of him as just like this crazy jester, like from the comics and the cartoon.
Yeah, I wonder if that
Jester's a clown.
if it's stuck around because
No,
it
it's
plays
all
off of
clowns.
people's innate fear of clowns. You think that has something to do with it?
How long do you think the innate fear of clowns has existed, though?
Since the day after clowns were invented.
Really, is it? I mean, was that something like in the 40s people were afraid of clowns?
I don't think the phobia of clowns. I don't think that affects people. The Joker, like
Have you been around a
Pennywise.
clown lately?
Pennywise, yeah.
You know, they recast Pennywise for the new It.
There's a new it.
There's a new It, and they cast the kid from, he's in the Meet the Millers. He's like
He's Pennywise.
he's like a teenage kid. I think it's a great choice.
You know that kid's British.
That's something about that kid is like he's a little off, you know? Yeah, I understand that's at least who is in the running for it.
He
a
kind of has
terrifying villain.
that look, though. What was the guy's original?
Dead eye.
Tim Curry.
Serial
Yeah,
killer.
he kind of has that weird, like bulgy Tim Curry-eyed look to me.
When they actually, I read the book It as a teenager, and when they put the miniseries out, I actually didn't like Pennywise because he was far different than I had him envisioned in my head. Like I didn't envision him being bald. I envisioned him a lot more like the clown that is the doll in Poltergeist in the kids' room. You know, you ever seen Poltergeist before?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that clown with like a big like triangle hat on and all that stuff.
Plus, he's not a clown that long, right? Or as nearly as long as he is in the movie, in the books.
What's that?
Like he's not the clown. He's not a clown in the books like the whole time,
Oh,
right?
that
Oh
is-
God.
Yeah, he's kind of got that dead eye sort of.
Yeah, that's the kid. So that's
No,
confirmation
take it
that
down,
that's the
take it
kid,
down.
right?
He's got those evil eyebrows.
He looks a tiny bit in the eyes.
Brandon can't look.
In the eyes a little bit. He looks like Jonesy a little bit.
Speaking of Joker, okay, they actually do have a
Brandon.
bad
Thank you.
interpretation.
Well, no, it's
of the
because when he's
Joker.
looking in it, all I could think of
Oh.
is he actually sees me doing this podcast. Because that's what's terrifying about Pennywise.
He sees you from pictures and stuff.
I don't want to look at that picture when he's looking to the camera because like there's something about it being like that's what's terrified about Pennywise. He just knows. Like if you're looking at a book of Pennywise and he like reaches through it because he knows.
Because he can see you through pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Brandon.
Yeah.
You know it's not real, right?
But he's not real in the book, and he's still real
He's
to
not
you.
real
and like
in the
everybody
not real
thinks,
thing. Does that make it real?
I'm just worried that if I go crazy, my craziness is going to manifest itself in Pennywise.
Oh my God, you just exactly described my ex-wife's description of why she doesn't like ghosts. You remember that? my ex-wife was afraid of ghosts, and I was like, "Why? You're afraid of ghosts?" And she goes, "I'm afraid of seeing a ghost." And I go, "What does that mean?" She said, "Well, if I see a ghost, that means I'm crazy." And I said, "So you're afraid of going crazy?" She goes, "No, I'm afraid of ghosts." That was it. That was her explanation for it. Made no fucking sense to me ever.
What are you trying to say?
You have the exact same explanation as her as to why you're afraid of. You're afraid that if you go crazy, you'll see Pennywise. Therefore, you're afraid of
crazy.
Pennywise. That
No.
makes
It
sense.
can be both.
It can be both.
I'm just saying the more I see it and the more I remember it, the more likely that when I go crazy, my brain is going to be like, all right, well, what are we going to do to make this guy crazy?
Are you wearing an Apple Watch?
I am.
When'd you get an Apple Watch?
Like 2 weeks ago.
Or better question, why did you get an Apple Watch?
Yeah.
Oh,
Why
it's
did
great.
you? Why did you get an Apple Watch?
Why did it or do I
I'm
like it?
still waiting for somebody to explain to me what the fucking Apple Watch
That's
would
the
do.
problem is because they're marketing it as an Apple Watch. But if they market it as something specific, like if, for instance, they were saying it's a good exercise device, it would be
So-
a phenomenally better exercise device than any of the Fitbits
So it's a
for
good
not that
exercise
much money.
device.
It's amazing because it not only supports its first-party exercise tracker where it like reminds you to get up, but also all the third-party ones like run.
That's the first step
Modern
in
day
working
fitness.
out.
Hey,
Get up.
get up, Blaine.
No, you'd be surprised. It's like, hey, get up, and you're like, I should get up.
Never
think
skip
that-
get up day ever.
Every
Every day.
I use text messaging. Text messaging is awesome.
You've
all the
had
time.
some pretty bad
Send me a text.
typos.
I'm gonna send you a text. I want you to reply to it.
Okay. Reply with an emoji,
While
a
we're
generic
doing this,
response, or
Patrick,
like dictate an actual.
Did
okay,
you
we'll see
get
what it
the
is.
Orgrim render photo that I sent you? Can we show that by any chance? So this is the main orc that's in World of Warcraft. This is an actual render of it, as opposed to I'm sure what was before was a render, but this to me
Oh.
is like way more photorealistic.
Shit.
Yeah, that looks way better. To me.
Okay, so is that CG or is that?
That's CG. That's a render.
Fuck,
yeah,
dude.
So, but whatever reason, like that
that.
photo they put out with him by the fire, to me just looked kind of like I don't know, very uncanny valley to me.
I feel like fire does that sometimes, though.
I don't even know if
Fire
you can have
bad.
uncanny
Bounces.
valley for a monster. I mean, that's a made up
Okay.
being, you know?
Yeah.
But that looked awesome.
Yeah,
I'm sending Brandon a text.
it's always skin though.
Well, you saw, but I could put on my purple lights for my watch.
Send.
What does that mean?
It's
Oh,
sent.
we went in there for that conversation. That was a
Oh.
big.
Could I log in onto that? Because
No,
I wanted to
no,
try
you
something.
can't.
There is
No.
a certain app that I wanted to see.
I know.
Can you get Tinder on
You
that?
can. And
Oh
I-
my God, are you serious?
You can. Yeah.
Oh my God. I
So
wanna
when Paula
download it
leaves
for
the
that.
country for X amount of months, you know what to do.
So you get
Thanks-
Tinder.
thanks, Blaine.
Here's the problem. If
You know
get
her
Tinder,
aunt watches this.
So theoretically, the way it works is you find someone you like, they like you, then you say, I like this person, then you find each other, you meet each other. The problem with that scenario is when you meet each other, you're wearing an Apple Watch. That's the problem. Then she's going to realize that like immediately that you have an Apple Watch. What if she showed up and she had an Apple Watch on with you on Tinder? Like your fucking face right there on her wrist. That would be a turnoff,
It's
right?
affectionate. It's like, oh, yeah, I'm on your watch. That's so cute. You're wearing me on jewelry.
Yes, you're looking for a girl with an Apple Watch?
No.
I didn't think so.
I'd
be
walk
awkward.
in, see the Apple Watch, walk back out.
You just keep walking to the exit.
It's like that Grandpa Simpson gif where he
Yeah.
just walks in and walks out.
It'd be awkward though if you were on a date and then you're like, oh, let me check my watch, but it was still open from the previous
yeah, no.
session, and she just saw another girl's picture like right on it.
You
Be like,
just
oh, that's
described
my sister.
Yeah.
100% of the time that I open my phone to show anybody anything on my phone, I'm always like, here, check this out. And then I see it's locked, and I go to unlock, and I go, wait a minute, unlock. And I look at it, okay, now look at it.
Yeah.
You never know.
That out of context shit sucks.
Yeah, especially like Paula's family was like looking at pictures from my phone, and I just wanted to show them this one. They're like, "Oh, what else is by it?" I
No,
was
they
like,
didn't do that, did they?
Stop it! Let me give it.
Did they really?
Distracted them.
If somebody ever swipes when you show them a photo on your thing, that's
You like knock the phone out of their hand and stomp on it and break it.
yeah.
I mean, you don't want to
Yeah.
look. You don't want to
You
do that.
You're laughing at me. You don't,
You don't want to do that though, because then it makes you look
No,
like
you
know
just- you can't
even
risk it.
worse. You might just
You
be
have no
like,
idea.
oh, okay, take the
No.
phone. I'm just like
Swipe, stomp, break.
Did you ever hear about that guy who was
Have
like,
you gotten my text message yet, by the way?
No, it's not on my phone either.
You have
Man,
a
this thing's working
You have a
amazing.
poor connection.
It went
according to
out
Periscope.
already.
I read about a guy who, you know, when you sit down and you like instinctively type like your password, your username, Facebook.com,
there it is.
YouTube.com. It's just like, you know, you hit as soon as your fingers hit those keyboards, you instinctively type something.
Sure.
There was a guy who was sitting down to show his girlfriend's family like a video or something. So he sat down and he went to go to YouTube and he
Oh,
went
no.
to PornTube or something, Pornhub. Just instinctively typed it, enter, and then it's like his family is like there watching his porn comes up.
It says welcome back.
So, yeah.
I
Registered.
texted Brandon, hi, Brandon, let's be friends. And he replied, okay, in all capital letters.
Yeah, it's the first generic response. It's the first generic response you can pick through. There's
you
like
only
10
send-
pre-written things you could say.
Can you type stuff out, or is it only the pre?
You do voice. You either pre-emoji or do voice, and then send your voice recording, or it'll dictate.
Oh, you can send a voice recording?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, you're messing with me.
Yeah, I'm totally
hate
messing
when-
with you.
I hate when
What about
I-
your hue lights? You can control it with Hue Watch.
Brandon, we're all going to make fun of this mercilessly right up until the point we all buy one, which will be any week now, I'm sure.
Yeah, then people are going to tweet me, oh, remember when you hated the Apple Watch and you said it was stupid and you made fun of Brandon?
Say, yeah, we do remember that. Thanks for tuning in.
Your dumbass almost jumped into the lake with that thing.
Why is that such a big deal to
Because
you?
waterproof.
But it's like $500 still.
It's unbelievable. Like, have you seen the
Which
test?
for a
There are
watch
people
is
who are
actually
diving
pretty
like
normal.
hundreds of meters underwater. I think it'll survive like a
Blaine,
splash.
there's a lot of watches that cost $500.
Well, and I am aware, and I own very nice watches, and I will go swimming.
Oh.
with them.
Fucking brag about it.
No,
There
but
we
I'm just
go.
saying, like, I don't think I
Welcome
would
to
want to
Blaine's
take
watch hour.
something that's equivalent
All
to
the
my
finest watches in Blaine's collection.
equivalent to my phone.
Jeez.
I wouldn't want to take that into the water.
Yeah, but the phone's not waterproof. The watch is.
See?
Ah, it's-
That's
I feel like
fancy.
that is the coolest feature, the picture thing.
Blaine, explain why you think it's the coolest feature.
So the Apple Watch does have this feature, which is probably like one of the
I don't know if
biggest
we can
things
get
about
close
it.
up on this.
You can put your phone somewhere, and it's connected via Bluetooth. You can put your phone somewhere, and then you can walk away, and it's like, all right, everybody ready to take the photo? And then you click a button, and then it takes it for you from your phone. So you have a picture
Well, I think he's gonna.
of what your phone is seeing on your Apple Watch. So you could like plant it in a room and spy on people.
Look,
You're
turn the camera.
You're so weird, man.
No, but that's cool.
I
No,
can't.
leave it. Quit moving it.
There we
Do you know
go.
how this works?
There we go.
And I'm moving the camera around over here, and you can see it.
Yeah.
That looks like.
Yeah.
All right.
So you're saying your Apple Watch has a screen, is what it has. It has a screen.
He
That's
can
amazing.
spy on
but
people
you can
with it though.
stream.
You spy on people with a laptop. If you
I don't want to spy on people.
Why are you doing that then?
Sure
Then why do you have an
I don't know.
Apple Watch?
You told Daniel
Yeah,
to walk
inches.
to see how far it would go. It
No,
went,
because
like,
you and
across
Daniel were the
face.
ones who immediately had that reaction because you're both really creepy.
Why are you checking the lighting in the bathroom? That's what I want to know. You got to leave your phone wherever you're going. You can just record on your phone and come back and watch it later.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Nah, it's
There's
not
something-
the same as seeing it live.
It's not as creepy if you're sitting here looking at a small like peephole size.
So hey,
Well, wait,
Screen.
Bernie, come on. All right, one more thing with the Apple Watch. I'm gonna pitch to you.
Go ahead.
There's an Amazon app. You click it. You say, "I need paper towels." It says, "Here's some paper towels." You click. Those paper towels are gonna show up at your house tomorrow.
That's pretty cool.
There you go.
But I also can do that on my phone.
yeah,
one.
I've got a phone
Yeah.
and a laptop, and I can do it on those.
I know, but every
Listen.
time technology comes up, there's always another way you can do it
Brandon,
that's slower.
I want to thank you. You're literally the only person now, after 2 months of this thing being announced, you're the only person who's explained to me what the thing can do. Everyone just says it's an Apple Watch. That's it. That's all they say.
That's Apple's marketing.
It's
That's
just
the
an Apple
problem.
Watch. So just buy it. It's like, what does it do?
I think
what
they
does
have.
it do?
I think they haven't justified what it is that it can do or what it is that it does. That's why they're not saying yet.
The other thing is people don't have them.
Right? They're gonna wait. They'll
Like
wait.
they haven't started. Their whole lines of watches they haven't started shipping.
You're the only one that I've seen that has had an Apple Watch.
Yeah.
They just have not blown up, I think. I feel like even though
Well, 'cause
iPhone
they're
had-
not.
It's their best
people
selling
don't
product in
have
history.
them.
Is it really?
Yeah, fastest selling
They're on
product.
back order through July, I think.
Is it? Do they just have a limited amount of units? Because I feel
Yes.
like I saw
That's the
everyone.
way it works.
Yeah.
Well, no, like like super limited. Because even when the iPhone came out and it was
that's
like
relative.
super limited, like I saw everybody with iPhones.
The limit. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
but you
limited
think- you
to the
think-
amount of people
But
who
you
are
think about other
ordering it.
technology like the PS3 or the Xbox 360 when they came out. It was like you had to wait a year before you could find it in stores. Could be similar.
Yeah.
And there were tons of those.
Yeah,
Here,
I mean,
let-
you could have ordered a minute after it went on sale, and you still don't have it.
I'm going to read this ad. I want to remind everyone this episode of the podcast is brought to you by.
You've been hoarding all the nature boxes.
They're not hoarding. I have a shelf filled with them. And you can just
know.
walk in and grab them.
You also, the nature box stuff, though, got to say, though, like, there's a couple bags of nature box sitting right there. They've been sitting there for like 2 or 3 months. At least 2 or 3 months, right? You can't do that.
I claim no responsibility
You
over
can't
those
do that.
bags.
It's
I don't know
not
what
fair
that
to
is.
people like me who go in and steal people's food from their office.
Take it. It's right
Because
there.
then I go to eat it, and then it's super old.
Gus is actually pretty cool about it because I walked in the other day and I was like just talking to him about something for RTX and I instinctively took a
Yeah.
bag and started eating it. He didn't say anything. I was like, oh shit! Like I didn't realize what I had done until
That's what that shelf's there for.
It's free. It's there.
If they ever
Yeah.
have like
pretty
granola
nice.
on that shelf, I just go straight through the entire bag.
Oh,
of
that's
granola.
it's like cinnamon crunch granola. Oh, yeah, it's
That's one of there's a vanilla cherry granola.
That's
That
French
one's-
vanilla or something.
Fuck, it's
French
all
toast
good.
vanilla.
French toast granola is another one.
Mm-hmm.
So good. Just chew all the way through that stuff.
Good. Try
That's
it.
one way you can make it unhealthy though. You do what I do and eat the whole goddamn.
Eat the whole box in one sitting.
Yep.
Just take the whole thing.
So do you ever find that you're like having your iPhone and your watch out?
If we spend any more time talking about the Apple Watch, people are gonna like crucify me.
Too late.
All right.
Too late.
You
I'm
ever
on Twitter.
find what?
Yeah,
Well, I
that-
was just saying
that
like
ship has sailed. Go for it.
multitasking. How are you able to multitask like the same you would with your phone, or does it take more effort because you're kind of learning it still? I don't know.
Do you
I mean,
walk
they're
around like
just
this? Do you walk
they're
around and go,
different
"Oh, look at
devices
this
that are meant
watch,
to
what's
work in
that?
different
Oh."
ways.
Yeah.
Like you just assume that your phone is naturally supposed to do all the things that it does, but that's only because that's the only device that does it. And it came in, and this thing came in, and it can do these things. It's kind of like re-understanding what a more instant device that's available to you.
Do you want your
Can
mind to
do.
be blown by the level of communication possible from the
Yeah,
Apple Watch?
please,
Bring it on.
please let everybody
Bring it
know
on.
all of what I was able to communicate to you
Good
while you
boys.
were reading the podcast.
Hi, Brandon. Let's be friends. Okay. Puppy, Statue of Liberty, marble, police car.
Yeah.
It's like hieroglyphics. We're regressing. We're going back in the grand scheme of things.
You know the crazy
What
thing
were you
is,
trying to say?
isn't it obvious? Gosh.
I have no idea.
Don't let him go. I don't know what he wanted to say.
Oh, we can see your phone. Oh wait, no, that's us. specifically.
I think there's a whole generation of people
was worried.
that's like that form of communication, like that ability. That's enough.
Emojis?
Yeah.
I was taking a crap today, and Josh Flanagan
All
called me,
right.
and I felt really bad for like.
Other
when-
ways we could have said this. I was in the bathroom earlier today.
Yeah.
No, it's important because I was going and I didn't want him to know that I was taking a crap. Well, I guess now that I'm telling on the podcast, it doesn't really matter. But it's a funny
You
story.
want Josh? Nobody wants the audience to know.
Well, so like I was saying, and I was done, and when you get your hands mixed up, so like
No.
no, not
What?
like
I don't know what it's like
you
to get
wipe
my
your
hands
ass with your
mixed
stuff?
up.
Oh my god.
no. So I was like, all right, all right, Josh, I'll talk to you later, and I meant to hang up, but I flushed instead. So it's like, all right, Josh, talk to you later. And then I realized what I did. That I hung up.
Now, did you try to convince Josh that you weren't in the bathroom?
Yeah, I think so.
That, by the way, never works. The acoustics in the bathroom are very unique.
Yeah.
It's the same as when you try to wake up and try to answer
Sound
the
like you're
phone
not?
and sound like you haven't just woken up. That's impossible to do. Just like in the bathroom, you cannot hide the fact that you're in the bathroom.
Which bathroom were you in when you took the call?
It's sound checks. I don't use our bathrooms because when you take a crap in there, there's like people walking in and out, and sound check. It's a little bit more.
The thing I understand about that other bathroom
all
you
more
went
private.
to, why is there a chair in there?
Oh yeah.
we talked about that.
There's a
Jeff and
chair-
Michael tweet about that chair all the time.
There's a chair in the stall that's like facing the toilet.
I think we talked about this once. Is the ghost?
I'm gonna buy
so
the
the ghost
Poltergeist
can
clown
watch
to
you.
put in that fucking chair.
And there's also like 9 or 10 rolls of toilet paper there that are
they're
all like
always, like-
partially used.
Yeah, there's all various states of use. It's weird. I don't know. Maybe it's haunted.
It's a weird stall.
Would it weird you out if you came into that bathroom and there was just a guy in the stall, door
What?
open, just on the stool, just like on his phone, not doing anything, and you'd be like, oh, that's what it's for. It's that guy.
I mean, somebody put it in there, right? It was a conscious choice.
Yeah.
So maybe there is a guy that goes and does that.
Maybe
I don't know.
okay. There's like one of those.
I
Little,
mean, would it satisfy
I
you,
think
or would
it would be bizarre?
But would you at some point feel like, well, now I know.
No, because then it would be like that guy's just sitting there because the chair is there. The chair's not there because of him.
theory?
You know
They
that.
have one of those little spray things that like every now and then it goes. Tss, it smell the nice
An
smell.
air freshener?
I'm gonna
The
buy
nice
that
smell
and put it in my
medicine?
fucking chair.
Jesus, it's terrifying.
It's the clown from Poltergeist.
Machine. I said
An air-
medicine
I'm
for
gonna
some
buy
reason.
that. And put
An
it in
air
there.
freshener. Mm-hmm. Maybe since it's so high up for maintenance, they have to like climb up there because I imagine you have to change those out pretty frequently. So
Bathrooms
maybe-
have ruined air fresheners for me. Because every time I smell an air freshener, it smells like a bathroom.
Air fresheners have ruined
laced
air
with
fresheners.
shit.
Why do people use air fresheners? Air fresheners are bullshit. Air fresheners are one of the worst inventions ever made.
I imagine what a bathroom smells like though without an air freshener in it. Especially the one that's
but-
on the wall, and every 5 minutes they go.
But I just think about the people who like use air fresheners, at home or in their cars. Why do people put those little fucking? You ever see those like those little gel things in their
I
car?
totally, I know exactly
Yeah.
what you're talking
Why
about.
the fuck would anyone do that? It smells like shit.
Well,
I
something
use those.
happened.
It smells fucking awful.
My mom
Yeah.
buys them. From
It's
Bath
so
Valley
super
Works.
concentrated,
Smells
and
pretty
in
good.
like you're in such an enclosed space.
And the
that you
point-
just get overwhelmed
So
with
my
it.
blue
smells
truck
like
that we
apples.
use in Immersion, I sold that truck to the company to be our production truck. And something happened like a month after I sold it to the company where it developed a smell. And the production truck has a weird smell on the inside, and I don't know what it is.
that rain mildew.
It's like a rainy mildew
yeah.
kind of smell, yeah. And so that's the kind of thing I think people try to mask is when they have it. That truck just hit like some kind of like point of no return where it's just like truck stinks now.
The thing that gets me is like when you have something to make a place smell better, you want to be sneaky about it. You want somebody to come in and be like, "Wow,
Why do you want to be
this
sneaky?
naturally is pleasant." But when they're just staring at this giant plastic air freshener, it's like there's no value in that. Like you want them to come here and be like, "This guy keeps a very, very, lavender smelling home."
Candles do that, I think. Candles can be like
Yeah.
a piece of furniture as well as something that makes you smell.
Or like some people just have a book of matches in their bathroom, they just light a match
Oh, yeah.
and then
yeah,
blow
that
it
sounds
out.
good.
I worked for a toy store, and I remember they had this little Tinkerbell thing that someone returned, and I was trying to fix it because in my spare time I would try to fix toys that were broken. Just thought it was a little hobby, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. And there was a little red button, and I was like looking at it, and I pressed the button, and I found out it was an air freshener, and it instantly blew that shit into my face. The rest of the day, I smelled like a
Like
fucking-
Tinkerbell.
I felt like a fucking princess. Yeah.
I one time sprayed Bananka in my eyes when I was a kid.
What's
Oh
Bananka?
my god,
It's like that breast spray.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I was like looking at it, and I just sprayed it straight into my own eyes and blinded myself for like an hour. Hurt like hell. I mean, it's like mint, spraying mint into your eyes. Imagine that.
I never knew that's what that was called. Bananka?
Bananka.
Yeah.
It's a brand of it.
You know that?
Yeah, I had it when I was a kid, and then I realized, the only time I've ever seen this is on Dumb and Dumber.
I was gonna say
As
that's
a
the only
joke.
thing I know
was
is
like,
Dumb and
maybe
Dumber.
I should not walk around with this.
So you went and bought it
Yeah, I mean,
As a
why-
kid?
Yeah, I don't know. You have it. You have Tic Tacs?
as a kid?
Yeah. Did you just have like really funked up
Probably.
breath as
yeah.
a small child?
Yeah. As a small child, yeah, I didn't.
I was gonna play a Bananka commercial for you, but it was like somebody made a parody Bananka commercial. So, I mean, why would somebody do that? Makes no sense at all.
Paul's family was in town.
It's about as high quality as
They
you
were?
expect to.
Yeah.
How'd you embarrass yourself this time?
I didn't necessarily embarrass myself. Things started out really well. I mean, they didn't go horribly, but constantly trying to get on great terms with the dad. Immediately saw me, went to shake his head,
You
Shake his head.
shake his hand, grabbed it, and then like pulled me forward
Dad.
and
On
had a
the
really
head.
nice bear hug. It was like an embrace, but at the same time, gonna squeeze you a
Threatening.
little bit.
Yeah.
And
demonstrate your power.
the last night
That's
they
what I
were
do.
there, he had a couple drinks,
good for
and
you.
whenever I was leaving,
Telling the story
he
is
like
a great way to get on this good side, Gus. Don't you think? Tell us more about your drunk. Anyway, go ahead.
no. He just had a couple drinks. So then I was like, oh, okay, bye. And then like as I was leaving, he just turned to me and he just said, just like a little wag of the finger, as I'm walking away, and I'm like, this has no context. Like, what exactly am I supposed to like conclude from this, other than that it's like this giant man, just like somewhat slightly threatening me as I walk away?
Maybe he was like, "You're an all right guy."
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that Brandon.
That
You think so?
Okay.
Or like, that's a closet. Go out the door. Like maybe that's what it was too.
Yeah,
So I'm reading too much into it.
I think so.
Maybe so.
There's been worse.
I once had a dad clean a shotgun while I came to pick him up.
Do people really do that?
I thought it was way over the top. It didn't have any effect on me at all.
Yeah.
You think, well, that guy's crazy, so his daughter must be crazy as well.
If anything, that tells me they have a sense of humor. I stayed at a girlfriend's house
That's
once,
not funny.
and her dad put a camera.
No way.
It wasn't wired or anything. He was just fucking around.
It was
cool.
wireless like the iPhone and
Connected
Apple
to his watch.
He was
He's in the other room.
There's one time I went to church with a girlfriend. She was Catholic, and they do this prayer thing, and everybody holds hands.
Yeah, it's
and
really unique to Catholic Church, Gus. They do prayers.
They do this prayer thing where you hold hands. That's kind of unique.
I grew up
think.
Catholic, never held anybody's hand.
Well, they do in this church, Bernie.
Okay.
I
So
do that all the
anyways,
time, every
I had
week.
my
It's when you-
girlfriend
it's when you do
on
the
one
Our Father.
side and her dad on the
You
other.
hold hands in church to do the
Yeah.
Our Father?
You make like a chain all throughout the church.
Thank you.
Never have done that.
In the
the
Catholic
time.
church?
Yeah.
Never have done that. I grew up Catholic.
No, I did it all the
My
time.
father was a Catholic priest. My mother was a Catholic nun. We never held
I
hands.
got you,
to say
Blaine.
Our Father.
I'm with you.
Thank you.
You're-
Fucking lunatic.
I won you back?
Yeah.
All
No, you didn't. But
Oh.
go ahead.
Never did a Catholic church,
Well-
Methodist church, all the time. They love to touch.
Well, anyways, I got my hands mixed up again, and
What?
I laced fingers with both of them. So I spent about, how long is that prayer?
Pretty long.
Good minute.
Minute and a half.
Laced fingers, sweating into my like girlfriend's dad's hand.
Oh my God! You
Fucking
did like
awkward.
the full. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
You guys are a couple now. Do you think we tickle his palm with your middle finger a little bit there?
It was so awkward.
That I would let go. I would say
How
we did
old were
that
you?
wrong. We got to regrip.
I was 21, 22.
At that point, you got to like figure out how to drop something and be like, "Oh, my wallet." I gotta,
I was
gotta pick
just
that up.
locked in. I just sat there the whole time. I could feel myself sweating. I was just fucking do it, man. Just do this prayer.
He thought you were playing chicken with him.
Who's gonna drop it first?
So did he come in with lacy fingers as well?
I think he came in with the cupped, and then I was just like, "Loop."
You did.
you
No
go
one
over-
will demonstrate with me. I
you
think
go
I
over-
really
everyone's
won't. I really won't. I don't want to do it.
Brandon.
Here,
Here, you role play with him, guys.
So he went in like that, and then I think I went in kind of like, how did I do it? It was like that.
because
And we held.
normally it should be like this.
Like that. Well, I
Okay,
think
hold on. Don't even think about it. Just do it.
I think he gave me one of the.
Yeah, see?
So he gave me the under,
You're
and I
weird.
gave him the over, and then I was just like,
you lace the fingers up. Oh my God.
my girlfriend was
Laces
over there.
out.
That's unbelievable to me.
Did you pull his hand up and just like put it at your heart?
Bro. This prayer's getting to me.
It's like a couple skate.
After I broke up with her, or we broke up, it was a mutual thing. I saw him at Chipotle, and he was in the parking lot, and he just started laughing. Like he didn't even say hi. He was just like, and I was like, oh.
Now,
fuck.
you just said you had a mutual breakup.
Yeah.
Is there really such a thing as a mutual breakup?
No.
Or is it more so like she broke up with you and you're like, that's fine?
Other way around.
Really? That's what it was?
Yeah, it just wasn't working out, and then I just kind of was like, this is the reasons why, and she's like, okay, I can see that, and then there was some fallout on her end, but I was like, man, I'm done.
There's so many immature ways though to break up with
Still
somebody.
friends. Still
The
friends.
most immature way is Gavin's way.
Which is
Just stop responding.
Oh.
You know, you
No,
no
but,
contact.
like, a lot of-
You go no contact with an ex. Gavin does that before the ex stage. He just goes no contact. Like he disappears off the face of the earth. And the person he's dating just eventually gets the idea that he's not
That's
communicating
I
with them anymore
that's the worst. Like that's like getting stood up, and it's just like you don't even have the time
for life.
to you don't even have the time, the courtesy to just nothing against Gavin. I love Gavin, but like that sucks.
And
Like,
by the way, Gavin doesn't do that all the time, but he's done it enough. Like once is enough for us to call him on that.
I like that he's
think.
not here and he can't defend himself about it.
Like he would
Oh,
defend
too bad.
himself. He's here. And I go, well,
I miss Gavin.
when I was 18, I didn't want to like actually have to break up with somebody, so I just became obnoxious
Yep,
until she
that's
broke
another way
up
to do
with
it.
me, and I was like, she's like, well, I don't know, I don't think I can do this anymore. I'm just having problems. All right, if you are, then all right, we'll do that. You know.
would you rather break up with somebody or be broken up with?
Now I do not care.
You don't care at all?
I do not care. I mean, like if something doesn't work, it doesn't work, and I'm fine.
As Brandon is fond of saying, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Blaine, what would you prefer? Being broken up with or breaking up with somebody?
I guess breaking up with somebody just
Something.
because it's just like I feel like I have like a little bit more control of the situation. I hate being the bad guy though. That's kind of a tough one. I don't
Yeah.
like being the bad guy.
Yeah, I find it way easier to be broken up with because then I'm just like, okay.
Well, you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, okay.
Well,
You're just
yeah,
agreeing.
I don't want to be the martyr though, because then you're just all like, oh, what was me? I don't like that.
You
I
could
mean,
be
like, it's
broken
not a
up
big
with
deal.
and not be the martyr.
Ashley put it best. She said that she prefers to be the person breaking up with somebody because when you break up with somebody, that's the end. Like you went through this whole process, and you're like, all right, I gotta go through this. I gotta sit them down and break up with them. You do it, and you're like, done. But when you get broken up with, you just got started. You know what I mean? It's like somebody breaks up with you, and they're like, but what if I? And you're like, nah. And they're just getting going on the process. So it totally makes sense to me from that perspective.
Okay, and if that's the case, then I definitely like doing the breaking up.
Yeah.
Then.
But do you ever really like? I've never been like blindsided by a breakup. That's never happened to me. Usually it's like the writing is on the wall. Then that person breaks up with you, and you're like, oh, okay, that's fine.
I put some flags out to kind of let them know it's coming.
Literally,
Sure.
just like red flag.
I think everybody does that.
What about you? What do you prefer?
I don't know. I could go either way, but I think like fundamentally, I prefer to be broken up with because I can just be like, I can be more mature about that and be like, like I've never had a break where somebody broke up with me and I fucking flipped my shit.
Yeah.
But I have broken up with people and they have just lost it. You know what I mean?
And then there's a whole episode afterward. And when it comes to communication, like was text messaging a big thing when that happened?
Fuck text messaging.
Listen to him talk. You're talking to a fucking caveman. Actually, yeah.
There's only
We
had,
know
like,
text
like, back in
messaging wasn't a big thing. I
04.
mean, we all
Yeah.
had text messaging, but it wasn't a big thing. We had that. What's it called? T9.
Oh
Shit?
God, yeah, T9 keyboards.
So we didn't do much of that. No, it was we saw each other in person and we discussed things with one another.
No, I'm saying
We sent
afterward.
Snapchat stories.
I'm saying afterward because text
We
is
had a
so
bird
easily.
that would type out a
they're
message on a stone tablet for
They're
us, like the Flintstones.
so easy to do that no matter what, after a relationship is over, there's going to be some sort of like text argument or freak out.
Yeah.
It's going to happen, and then either it's like I'm going to be an asshole and ignore it, or I'm going to engage.
Well,
That's like it's like text messaging is added, just like a whole long process.
Well, the equivalent of breaking up with someone via text back, when I was a teenager, was the equivalent of breaking up with somebody on the phone.
Right.
You weren't supposed to break up with somebody on the phone. You had the courtesy to break up with them in person. So it's always the same thing. Yeah. If you're in a relationship with somebody, you should be able to look them in the eye and say,
Oh, I don't mean breaking up
terrible.
with them on the phone. I just mean
I
like
never want to see you
It's like
again.
Game of Thrones. If you deliver the sentence, you have to deliver the punishment. It's like, get me my sword. We're ending this.
Do you ever have any really tough breakups?
I don't think so. The weird thing, like thinking back about all the relationships I was ever in, I've never been dumped. I always was the person who ended it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You never did like what Brandon said, where you just acted like an asshole long enough to where the
That's my life. I've been doing that for a couple of decades
That's me
already.
trying to break up with the world.
I
Yeah.
wasn't
So,
an asshole. I just kept picking fights.
That's being an asshole.
That's kind of shitty, Brandon.
What do you think an asshole is?
No, not fights. Like more like
I was kept picking
disagreements about like random stuff.
All the time. That's an asshole. What do
Yeah,
you
but
think-
not like I don't like your mother. Like stuff like
Cut your losses and just end
specific.
it.
So specific.
like no, like trivial things.
Hey,
but
babe,
just like
how's it going?
arguing about
I
it. a
don't
lot.
like your mother. Why don't you break up with me?
That's just more effort
You
than
mother-
just.
and I
Never
bet she like
ending it.
watches like James Dean's movies from the 50s. Like, how am I going to be bad? Because you get a motorcycle.
Leather jacket.
Wear a leather
Brooding.
jacket.
I like to see Brandon. It's like 50s style James Dean brooding, getting some girl to break up with him.
He's like smoking a cigarette. Like, yeah, babe, I live fast. I'm going to die young.
She
Is
did that
that
thing where
it?
she mentions breakup. And you go, well, if you want to break up, we'll break up. Like that whole
Yeah.
thing. You just
yeah.
walked her into it.
No, it's just like, all right, I see your point now that you say it. I think about it. It's not an issue of trying to be. It's like an issue of you think in your head that's somehow better than just being like, hey, I don't want you to be here. Like I don't think this is working out. Because no matter what you say, it always feels the same way.
It does.
So trying to like make it seem like they're in a better position at the time, I thought was a better route. But it's all bad. There's no good or bad way. It's all bad.
Well, somebody put it best to me that like you should never be heartbroken over a breakup. One way you can get over it a lot easier is you just try to think about everyone you've ever broken up with and thought about how you felt about those people. That's exactly how the person who broke up with you feels about you. That's exactly they're spending almost no time thinking about you at that point in time. After you're broken up, they're just like, I'm glad to be rid of this person. I'm gone. So pining away over that person is not worth even a second of your time.
I want to say, I'm looking at Twitter here, according to @ElliErratic, @Mr. Farmahini, that's the definition of an asshole in a relationship. Oh my fucking God.
Yeah. Exactly right. You say, I'm not being an asshole. I'm just picking fights every possible opportunity. that I
Not
can."
every possible. I remember it was mostly like about like the one that stands up was like the last straw was like about J.K. Rowling and like how good an author she was.
and you got to fight over that.
Yeah. She's like, I don't got, and I kept like, no, let's keep talking about
Yeah,
it.
you really waited. You picked your battles, right? You picked the important ones, and
That's what
it
I'm
wasn't
saying.
It wasn't everything.
No,
it
that's
was
what I'm
just the
saying.
big
It's
ones.
not like it's just like really trivial stuff that just says not like, oh, we kind of see different.
You'd
Look,
always
there's
just,
no good way to do it. It's always going to be bad.
typically you just weigh your
And
pros
I was
cons.
18. Give me a break.
Okay.
I don't do that now.
I just say you just weigh your pros and cons. You're like, all right, why is it good to date this person? Why is it bad? Are these bad things that I can put up with long term?
No, that's not what
If
we're
I'm
talking
thinking
about.
this in depth, then we should just break up.
You shouldn't be
No.
thinking about that at your age. Just do you want to be with this person or not? That's it.
You
Yeah.
can
That's it.
make a conscious decision whether or not it's a good thing, but it's still a whole process to go through that's really like sucks for everybody.
If you're weighing pros and cons, well, Gus,
Yeah.
back me up here. If he's weighing pros and cons
That's it.
while you're dating at 20, how old are you?
5?
25?
I would say he doesn't want to waste his time. He's young, but I mean, you don't have to think too deeply about it. You're not marrying the person,
Right. Just then we're like have a pros and cons list or whatever. It's like you're
Maybe you have a pros and cons list after a year.
Although
I don't know.
I feel like I'm
2 years?
approaching the age where marriage should be kind of.
Nah.
Well, I mean, my
No.
sister was
Not
married
for your
by
generation.
this time. My,
How
my
old's
mom
your
and
sister?
Dad, well, now she's 30. She got married, I guess 5 or 6 years.
How much
ago.
time do I have?
I'm not sure.
What's that? How old are you?
29. No.
You're pushing it a little bit. It's a little. When you talk about getting married, I mean, you get married to have kids and start a family,
I like
right?
that.
But you can always do that later too. Unless you meet
Nah.
somebody that can't live without.
You can't though.
Kids
'Cause,
seem like they cost so
They
much
can.
money.
I feel like the older that women get, though, like the harder it is. Like
Nah, there's science.
reproduction gets a little bit more.
You got
risky.
science on your side.
Yeah, but you don't have to marry someone your own age either.
True.
Like,
could
did your
marry
sister
someone
marry someone
older.
who was her own age?
Slightly younger. By like months.
Good for her, man.
Around the cradle.
oh, that
Lace
was
the
That's
fingers.
never gonna get old.
We should start a relationship advice podcast.
I
With-
pitched
with
that.
Bran-
No,
with
no, I
Brandon.
pitched that a while ago.
So Ashley and Meg and Gavin and I did a couples Let's Play. We played a scary game together as couples, and we all survived it just fine. I think. We'll see. There was a little bit of yelling at one another, just a tiny little bit, but we were okay. I think we're gonna put that up like maybe this coming week.
The kid thing, they seem so expensive and
They are.
nothing but stress and worry.
Yeah, they don't know shit either. You got to teach them everything.
Yeah, what if they're ugly?
What's that?
What if they're ugly?
I don't think people know when their own kids are ugly. I don't think you just think your kids are beautiful because they're your kids.
Fair
You'll be
enough.
fine with that.
I feel like I would recognize that my kid is ugly.
You think you would?
I feel like I would too.
You think you would?
Like if I had a kid, I'd be like, oh,
I see
it
people
looks
with
like
ugly
me.
kids all the
You
time.
know,
They have
it
no
I'm a
looks
pretty
like-
realistic person.
Yeah, like I'm really sorry, kid.
You're
You got
fucking
that from
ugly.
me.
Sorry, bud.
Why was someone saying this is the most depressing podcast of all time? What's so depressing about
Oh
it?
God, then I won't tell the.
Because we're
pug
talking
story
about
then
ways
with
to
that.
die and getting married. Is that it? Hey, Patrick, I sent you a whole list of stuff to talk about. Did you see, Gus, that somebody had a Papers, Please cosplay?
About a million times.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did everyone send that to you on
Yeah.
Twitter?
It was really good.
Yeah.
It was really entertaining.
I loved it. I don't know what con it was at, but there was some con this weekend. The
at
guy was dressed like...
ASEN.
Was it what?
ASEN, Anime Central.
Oh, did it... Is that what Meg went to?
No, she went to.
Oh, look at that. That's the Papers, Please cosplay.
So did he carry that around? How was that?
He must carry that booth around with him
PVC?
and check people's
We
IDs.
should do that at RTX. We should have that for like badge checking
Oh, that'd be great.
at the door to get into the event. It's just like
Yeah.
immigration checkpoint.
And we can like tase like 1 out of every 10 people, so that line will be like way shorter. But you have to like take a risk to get through there.
You just
Did you,
gotta-
did you ever play Papers, Please?
Huh?
Oh.
The other thing with the bullhorn where the guy tries to jump the fence and get shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little bit further along. I didn't get as far as you did. I got to like day 7 or something. Then my heat got shut off and all my family died. So,
I played it. Yeah, I played it many times.
dude, Ashley and my kids have been playing the hell out of Don't Starve, and I just can't get into that game. I play with them, but I'm just like, I just can't get into Don't Starve that much.
It's fun in multiplayer.
Man.
In single player, it's really trying. If you have a
Ashley and
group of
JD have
people,
like
it's
this
hard.
whole like system down where they're doing stuff. Teddy's like,
You got your axe person, you got your like mining person.
and then you got somebody who does nothing and then keeps talking about how hungry they are and they want food. You get to winter and it's like you watch people go through like these tough decisions of like, should we just let Teddy die? I mean, like,
God.
For me,
because he's not like making enough beef jerky
So
fast
is it-
enough.
is
for
it
me,
like-
what is this game?
Is it Oregon Trail, but like everybody is a?
It's like you start on a randomly generated map.
It's like
and-
a 2D Minecraft.
Right. It's like if Tim Burton made a top-down 2D Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
Why specifically Tim Burton?
It's like that art style.
It's like that art
Gothic
style
and stuff.
Yeah, it's like we've talked about it on like the Patch Game Club and some other stuff, but it's just that style. You know,
And you got to collect resources and
yeah,
like build farms, and you have to eat. Like there's a obviously the game's called Don't Starve. There's like a full meter. I don't know what to call it. And you
Hunger
have to-
meter?
Yeah, hunger meter. There you go. And you have to eat every
there's
so
a sanity
often.
meter, and as you lose sanity, then like shadows start to come up all around you, and then your sanity gets low enough, the shadows start to attack you.
When is the closest that you think that you've
And then you see
actually
Pennywise.
become insane
Ugh.
in real life?
That's a good question. When's the closest I thought that I was insane?
Mine was definitely low sleep. I think
Yeah.
Low sleep will definitely do it to you.
Yeah.
There was one time, I think probably the closest I've ever think to being I've actually been insane was when I went to something called sleep paralysis, which I've talked about on the podcast
yeah,
before.
that's creepy.
But it's where you wake up and your brain wakes up, but your body hasn't, and I can't move. I can't physically move. And there's something that comes along with it, which is called Hag syndrome, where you have that, and then you also have the feeling that somebody is in the room right out of your sight. For some reason, those two things go hand in hand. And I totally had that feeling a few different times where it's like somebody's in the corner of the room watching me, and they're the reason why I can't move. But I actually know what it's like to be paralyzed because I've been paralyzed in my body, and then eventually you just like can finally move.
How? Why?
It's horrifying. It's
How does that
absolutely
happen?
horrifying.
Like how?
I don't even know why it happens.
Brain damage.
Yeah, probably. But that's the closest I felt to like being like insane, where my brain was like working against me. Essentially, I felt like.
Fuck.
Hope that doesn't happen while you're skydiving.
Yeah, I'm just like.
Yeah, don't fall asleep while you're skydiving. That would be my recommendation.
That'd be bad.
Your brain paralyzes your body when you sleep, so that you don't act out your dreams. Otherwise, you'll be sitting there like running in your bed or punching and stuff.
That does happen to me though. Sometimes I'll wake myself up from doing the motion that I'm doing in my dreams.
You'd be like doing that. And you wake up.
That's a gif.
That happened
Congratulations, Tumbler. You finally got it after all this time.
My Scottish Terrier a lot is like he would just be sleeping and he'd be running in his sleep and squealing. I'd be like, I hope he's not thinking a dream that I'm chasing him.
The last time we
right?
talked about sleep paralysis, which was probably like 5 years ago, I think we followed the same chain of logic, and then we showed the video of the dog that like runs in its sleep and then gets up and runs straight into the wall. Yeah, so that's why your brain paralyzed your body, so you don't do that kind of thing. You don't end up as America's Funniest Home Video.
Sometimes Benjamin in his sleep, like he'll start like barking.
I love Benjamin.
And I think I wonder what he's doing. Like, is he chasing something and like running around and having fun? Because it's not like a scared bark. It sounds like excited.
don't
He's having
know.
fun, right? And then like I'll shake him and wake him up, and he'll just like, then he'll just let it back down.
But you're not worried that he's like something in his or his consciousness is thinking that you're doing something to him?
No, I don't think so.
And then he wakes up and he's pissed off at you, and you're like, I didn't do anything.
If I see that they're stressed out, then I'll kind of slowly pet them back into
Wait, who are you talking about?
dogs.
Oh.
If I see that there's something wrong with them, then I'll kind of like wake them up slowly, just so that it's like it's okay, comfort them.
No, I'm like, hey, what are you doing? What are you barking at?
That thing that I shot with Benjamin was he's adorable. This is a perfect dog.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah, Benjamin's
It
funny.
looked good.
Yeah.
We haven't put that out yet, have we?
It's coming up soon.
Another thing you did. He was awesome. He was awesome in that.
He looked good. He looked the part.
Yeah.
Dapper.
Yeah. very
So
dapper.
people are asking, when is the next Contagion Let's Play coming out? The couple's Let's Play that we did was actually in Contagion. That's what we did. Because I figured it's like teamwork game.
Yeah.
And the couples
You
had to
love
work
that
together.
game.
I fucking love that game. That game is perfect to me because they got slow zombies right. And that's so hard. And they did it. Because that game, you could easily win that game if you just stay patient and pay attention. That's it. It's like a real zombie thing. The only way you die in a zombie apocalypse is if you're not paying attention.
There is also some randomization in the game, which I guess like an apocalypse would be.
Like what?
Like you don't know if you're gonna have if there's gonna be a strong zombie and if you're gonna have the ammo for it.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah. So there are some things.
We had some great, awesome moments with that.
Yeah.
We had some really awesome moments because
Oh,
we
like
played it hard
armored?
too. Yeah, there's a riot cop in the one level that we play because you're in a prison. He has riot gear on, and it's just you can't shoot him to take him down. You gotta just unload.
It takes
and ammo's
so
a
many
big deal in
rounds,
the
yeah.
game.
We played that on a podcast Let's Play when we were doing the.
Yeah, we did the cockroach voices.
Yeah. Not surprised that was my last Let's Play because it went so poorly.
Well, we haven't done another
What? You did
podcast.
fine.
We should do some more podcasts.
I would
It's
not
been a
mind if
while.
we did another.
Yeah, we did those
We have
four
the
for
room
Laser
for it.
Team,
Yeah.
and
Well,
we
that's
should do
part of
more.
the reason with setting up the room. Was
I'll do more. Why don't we just record one every week before the podcast?
That Left 4 Dead one was like one of my favorite things I've done.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was so much fucking fun.
Yeah, let's start doing that.
Like in the propane tanks, every time I found them, I was like,
I don't think I was in that one. Was I?
yeah, you
you
were.
were.
It was you, me, Gus, and Gavin.
Yeah. Okay. I love Left 4 Dead too. I'm like, that's why I haven't been on the patch in a long time. Is like I just play the same games.
Well,
again.
yeah,
I was
actually,
playing Counter-Strike just recently.
that's why I asked to not be in last week's because I feel like all I've been talking about lately is Hearthstone.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just don't want to be the Hearthstone broken record who's just talking about that one thing over and over.
No, I don't blame you. It'll be great once E3 rolls around. You know, then that stuff gets all interesting.
Here, I'm gonna read this other thing.
You do that.
I want to remind everyone this episode of the podcast is also brought to you by.
You know what I hate as a guy? When I go to the mall or something like that, go to a department store, try on clothes, I'll try on I got 2 outfits, maybe 3 in me before I'm absolutely fucking done. I just won't do it. I'm like, after I try on 2 things, I'm like, get me out of here. I can't stand this. And it's like the women, in your life never understand that because you're like, we're shopping. This is the greatest thing ever. It's like, I fucking hate every moment
do
of
it.
this. I hate the little room.
Yeah.
I hate the mirror and the fucking pin cushion that's on the wall. I hate all that shit.
excruciating.
I'm bad
Yeah.
at buying. Like once I see something that's nice, I'll be like, great, let's get every color of this one object.
Every guy does the exact same thing.
I have this like in 20 different colors. I just
you have one that
repurchased
fits?
these shoes. What's up?
Do you have one that's the right size?
Don't you do the same thing?
Never heard that one before.
Don't you love that though? I mean, you do the same thing, Gus, right? If you find a T-shirt that works, you buy like 800 of those same
Oh, yeah,
T-shirts.
yeah.
I do the same thing. This is great because you get lots of different stuff.
Good variety,
I'm a big fan.
try a bunch of
I
stuff.
really enjoy the service, and I will use it again. I'm sure beyond the sponsorship.
Yeah, I've had 2 trunks so far, and they've both been great.
We could all stand to dress better too. No offense.
So
every time they
someone
cut
here-
to Blaine and Gus, they're wearing the same goddamn shirt.
I think this was Taylor Stone on Twitter made a little drawing for us
That's pretty great and very accurate.
of Blaine's experience holding hands.
Your girlfriend's cute. She's pigeon-toed though.
Red
Was she and
hair.
her dad had some kind of accident? What happened to their hands?
I don't know. Oh, they're just cut off.
Yeah.
They do that in Catholic
I've dated a
churches. They
redheaded
cut off
chick in
your
a
left
while.
hand and your right hand if you're a girl.
So
Some Catholic churches, not all of them.
That was TB Stone on Twitter.
Gus, what's the most expensive or the most you've destroyed of like physical property when you've been mad about something?
I don't destroy stuff when I get mad. I think it's stupid.
There's nothing that you've
No,
just
I don't
destroyed.
break stuff. Because I realize that being angry would cost me money, and I just think it's dumb.
What do you mean? I
Like when
missed
you
that.
get mad and you break something, do you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to do it way more. I used to be an angrier person. Controllers, I used to break.
used to break controllers all the time.
Yeah, I was watching.
desks.
Teddy talked me into him playing Limbo, even though it's kind of like a really dark game, but it's like fairy tale dark. I don't think it's any worse than some of those Grimm Brothers fairy tales where everyone's getting eaten by the end of the goddamn thing. So I decided, okay, let him play it because the puzzles are really challenging in it, and he's working his way through it. And I got to watch him get so fucking frustrated at platforming stuff and figuring out puzzles and all that. Like getting water levels up and stuff like that. He was just I could see it on him getting so fucking frustrated. So I had the whole conversation with him about it. It's okay. Video games will make you very, very mad sometimes. That'll happen.
Price
So
tag.
controllers?
Oh, yeah.
They're the biggest thing that you've destroyed?
I actually broke a controller in half in my hand.
An original Xbox controller.
Yeah.
Pretty bad. Duke.
Gus watched me do it.
I
Yeah.
was there. I was like,
That's pretty
Stop
badass.
filming for a bit.
Blaine?
That was over I couldn't get a shot right in Red vs. Blue like season 1 or 2, and it was just like tried 1,000 times. It was just like,
I think it was. I think.
Coolest. Just kind of-
I think it was season 3.
was it?
I think so.
I actually went like this with it, like that, twisted it.
Torqued it.
Yeah.
And then you just like, and then grabbed another one.
Yeah.
And kept
That
going.
No,
is
it was like
amazing.
he broke. Like he got so mad, he broke it, and it's like put it down. I was like, all right, let's go ahead and try that again.
It might have worked like that.
iPhones. Two iPhones.
You broke an
You
iPhone
broke an
because you were
iPhone really
mad?
well.
I mean, I got a new one, and there was like something slightly wrong with that one. Like, fuck, and I just threw it, and then I knew I'd get a new one, so I just
Well,
got rid of it.
there was this guy in Georgia who got really angry and just pissed off. He hadn't worked in like a year. Got in his pickup and then just drove through his house.
Yeah.
Just like completely fucked
Anger's a
it
real deal,
up.
man.
And they were just like, "What are you gonna do?" He's like, "Well, I've been out of work for a year, but I'm a contractor, so I guess I have something to work on now."
I have a job
That is
now.
so stupid.
And then the
That's
police
looking up.
came and they like interrogated him, but at the end of the day, it was his house
And his truck.
so they couldn't do anything.
I've
Wow.
considered
Way to
stuff
find
like
that
that.
fast. Man drives your house on purpose. I totally get it. I totally get it.
no,
Yeah.
no,
I totally get
no,
it.
that's insanity.
What?
That is
Totally get it.
What are
insanity.
you talking about?
I totally get it.
No,
Yeah, fuck that house.
You're
I totally
not-
get it.
A controller is a pretty far.
I've done other stuff besides break a controller.
you said that was the most expensive thing, though.
No, and yeah, but well, listen, I've done stuff that's like matter. That's like when I was younger and a teenager. One time, getting so mad, I got so mad one time I actually physically hit myself, like in the forehead. I got so mad. I can't remember what it was about, but I remember I hit myself hard enough to hurt myself.
Did you apologize to yourself later?
No, I just realized immediately that I was a fucking idiot.
That's
for
so
doing that.
stupid.
Really, you never like taking your hand and like hit your own head for doing something stupid?
No,
I'll bang my head against something.
Will you?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
if I'm really mad, I'll be like, fuck, just like hit a wall.
One of my favorite football clips of all time is the guy who's fucking so pumped up and he's running around to all of his teammates and he's got no helmet on. He just goes, wait, one of his
God.
helmeted teammates just like full on headbutt with his forehead. And it's just like, you're a fucking idiot. And that was awesome.
That is for you.
wow.
I
Yeah.
just smashed desks with my fist. And one time I was playing Xbox and I think Madden, and I just took my controller and I just started wailing on my table in my living room, and it was a cheap IKEA table. So for the longest time, you just saw like this giant indention of like the side of an Xbox controller.
Yeah,
that
those
would just
little,
like fit naturally.
Those little handles that come down.
Yeah.
Those will perfectly dent wood.
Here's my weekly dad story. My dad's a football coach, and going off your football story. And we were playing on this one field, and the sidelines were super narrow. And there was a receiver, that was running off the field, and he had so much momentum behind him, he just caught the ball. And he couldn't dodge anybody or go anywhere. And my dad was right in his path, and my dad's a big guy. And he's an offensive lineman, so he hunkered down, stuck his arms out, and then the kid just got fucking laid out.
Wow.
And my dad was just like unmoved. It was the most badass thing I've seen my dad do.
That's so
Everyone
awesome.
on our team was like, oh.
So it wasn't squeamish or anything?
What, my dad?
It was just cool looking?
It was badass. Yeah, he just like went like this, and the guy just went down. And he was an opposing player.
Are you guys squeamish when you see something, like a video, something that's like, hard
I don't
to
know
watch?
if it's, I would say squeamish, but I feel like empathy.
Because I found a
Like
video.
I watched someone break an arm, and I'm like, God, that must be terrible.
You were losing your shit earlier. What was that?
I found a video of this dumb kid, hopefully not with his parent. He had a loose tooth.
Oh,
and
God.
He also had a parrot of some kind, and he had the parrot just like, I think it was like just pecking at his tooth. And like you're just sitting there waiting for it to come out, and it takes forever. Oh, here we go. No, the parrot's trying to pull it out of his mouth.
How do you train the parrot to do that?
So it's like I realized that when I was a kid, I could just easily watch this and laugh, but now as an adult, something happened to me. See, like why would you want one of these?
If you read the about on, did you read the about on this video?
The kid,
somewhere?
not the parrot. I get wanting the parrot.
They
No.
said that this was the 5th or 6th tooth that parrot has pulled out like this.
Really?
I guess like it's just something the parrot does now.
How do you discover that?
Do they cover it in a material?
Like, you could see the kid like, kind of pointing at it with his tooth, like.
Oh, so the parrot
Yeah.
knows to go for that one.
Oh God.
There it is.
What a good bird.
He got the tooth?
Yep.
That's awful.
If
The
you
parrot's
listen
gonna
to-
go rabid and just start plucking people's teeth out.
that parrot became Pennywise.
Didn't it happen with the birds from Hitchcock's Birds movie? Is like they trained them to attack people, and then they couldn't untrain it, so they had to just kill all the birds. Is that,
Really? I never heard that.
I've
I mean,
never heard
I could
that
see that
story.
happening.
Is that just something I made up?
I read the book. I'm pretty sure that's not the case. I think it was like something with an environmental.
No,
shift.
wait, no.
He's talking about the making of the movie.
Like the actual filmmakers trained birds for the movie
Oh,
to attack people.
in real life?
Yeah, in
they
real
didn't
life.
use real birds.
Yeah,
What?
back then, yeah, you could use animals. No one.
That's nuts.
Yeah, Milo and Otis. You ever hear that movie about the little pug and the?
Don't tell me a
Orange-
sad story about Milo and Otis.
Oh, they killed like 50 dogs and cats making that movie. There's one where the cat jumps off a cliff, and there's another one where they go down a waterfall in a box. Yeah, it's like 70 cats died doing that. They were just
They didn't have 9 lives?
they killed 630 cats.
There was a pug that got hurt.
Yeah. They killed a lot of animals doing it. So sorry, this was called the most depressing podcast of all time. Now
year
it's
was
definitely there.
that?
The
It was like 90?
the whole thing about lemmings. Like what you know what the deal with lemmings are?
Yeah, Disney made a documentary, and there was an ongoing myth or something that what was it?
Lemmings, yeah.
Yeah, would jump off of cliffs when their numbers were too great.
Right. And so the Disney documentary maker, in order to show this, ran a bunch of lemmings off of a cliff, which
Yeah.
perpetuated the myth forever.
They realized that they wouldn't do
That's
it
not true?
naturally, so they
That's
would
not
herd
true.
them off.
Oh.
They don't do that.
Well, I learned it from the game.
Well, Disney, I know that there's a game Lemmings based on it, but they're not mice in it. They're like little elf people. But yeah, this
Are they
Disney
mice in real life?
documentarian just ran these herds of mice off the fucking cliff.
What do lemmings look like?
I think they're like little, just like a
Like
field mouse.
hamsters or prairie dogs? Or
Yeah.
Adorable.
Yeah, like a little field mouse.
Yeah, it's weird all the stuff they can.
Of all of our selections of pets, choosing which rodents we determine are pets is kind of funny to me. Like, it's one thing that animals, like different animals are pets. Like a cow is not a pet, but a dog is. But like, why is a hamster a pet, but a rat is not a pet?
I don't know, because
Tail.
rats are super smart.
tail.
Like the smart,
It's
one of the
tail.
smartest
That
animals.
big, ugly fucking tail looks like a snake.
It's a good call. And you don't find like hamsters in your basement behind the furnace, you know.
Oh, if I did, I'd little rabbits.
What would be the scariest animal to find in your basement if you've never encountered it
Bengal
before?
tiger.
Dragon.
Lobster, I think. Lobsters are just like, I don't understand why that's a delicacy. It looks like the world's biggest, like, horrible insect.
It looks like a roach or
scorpion.
something, yeah.
Yeah, with no tail, basically.
Yeah,
So we eat the tail.
I was out hiking at the Greenbelt and I saw a coral snake. I didn't even know those things were in Texas.
Oh
but
yeah, they totally
it was
are.
like it was the red, the black, the yellow, and I was like, fuck. Like it was like right there.
The red and yellow were together, right? Isn't that
I
the rule?
believe
Yeah.
red and
We have king
something you're
snakes
dead.
too. King snakes look like coral snakes, but they're not.
Right. It's whether it's red and yellow or red and black.
And it was red and yellow, but yeah, that
highly
freaked me
poisonous.
out. Yeah,
Highly
I
poisonous.
walked around. Anytime I go out to the Greenbelt now,
Walked
I will probably wear hiking boots and jeans now because fuck.
Knock on wood. I've lived in Texas my whole life. I live right by the Greenbelt in Austin.
Nice area.
The Greenbelt's awesome. I see you like doing your Periscope hiking from there.
Yeah, I used to live over the Greenbelt just so I could walk down there.
I have never run into a rattlesnake in Texas ever, and I hope I never do. Did you grow up in the valley? Did you run into
I
rattlesnakes?
did not
ever?
grow up in the valley. I grew up north of that, but yeah, I ran into rattlesnakes.
Okay. Eagle Pass is not the valley.
Sorry, north of the valley.
You did not run into it?
I did.
Oh. You ever get bit?
Oh God, no.
My cousin.
stupid.
Tarantulas down there too, a bunch,
Yeah,
right?
tons of tarantulas.
My
If
cousin-
you rattle, you run away.
Awful.
cousin was taking out the fucking trash up in Waco, Oklahoma, a small rural town, and got bit by a copperhead.
Yeah.
And my uncle went out there. My uncle is a badass, and he killed it with a spade. And he took my cousin to the hospital with the snake in tow, and he got the last antivenom that they had there. And then my uncle proceeded to freeze the snake, and he's going to make my cousin a wallet out of it because it's awesome.
Really? So when did this happen?
It's fairly recently. I think it was might have been actually last summer.
I read a stat that most people who get bit by snakes, poisonous snakes, die because of heart attacks and not because of the poison from the actual animal.
Is it clot?
trauma
because
of
of the
it?
blood clot?
Just
or
like
the-
just they have a heart attack. They just like completely like lose their shit and freak out.
Oh.
Like that anxiety and stuff.
Well, I realized that when I was like hiking and I saw that thing, I was like a good mile and a half away from my car. So it's like I would have been fucked because I would have had to have killed it, ran back and called the cops to meet me wherever, for the antivenom and all that bullshit.
Why couldn't you just call
Dude,
the paramedics
There
right
was
then and there?
did you hear
very bad reception out there.
Also, did you hear about what happened with the life flight?
Oh, yeah, that's sad.
That's really sad.
Oh, yeah.
There was a thing in the Greenbelt where
Morbid. Go
yeah,
on.
here we go again. The most depressing podcast. A life flight rescuer fell out of the helicopter and died when they
Yeah,
were
trying to
pulling
rescue somebody. in
trying to
the
rescue
Greenbelt.
somebody from the Greenbelt. Yeah, who I guess got stuck out there. Or
Yeah,
broke
that
their leg?
happens. It happened yesterday, I think.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Fucking Greenbelt. How do you get stuck out there?
I know the Greenbelt. By the way, you could walk like half a mile in any direction and get to the mall. Basically,
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like it's a big, huge section of the middle of Austin that's dedicated to greenery, but it's about as big
Still
as
in the middle
Central
of Austin,
Park,
yeah.
right? I mean, it's like you can see civilization, if you head in one direction for more than like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fair to say.
So but it's nice. It's nice to have that part of it. But it's really sad about that EMS.
Yeah.
Someone who dedicates their life to helping other people and saving lives, and then
And he's been doing it for a
tragedy
while
just
and
falls
saved so
out,
many people.
falls out of the helicopter.
Is Prozac one of our sponsors for this week's podcast?
No, nobody's that depressed. Come on, this is life in action.
Man,
What
did
are gonna
you hear about that biker shootout in Waco?
Oh, Jesus, dude.
do? It's not crazy.
I just met up with my parents in Waco like the day before that happened.
That's absolutely nuts. It sounds like something out of a movie or like an
Yeah.
episode of Breaking Bad. Like
Yeah,
three biker
Sons of
gangs.
Anarchy.
Oh,
shooting
it was
up.
only 3? I thought it was 5.
Oh, what I read was 3. I don't know if
Okay.
it was 5. I read 3 biker gangs got into a giant shootout in the parking lot of a Twin Peaks restaurant.
Yeah.
Twin Peaks. That's like the Hooters knockoff.
Yeah.
I love it. I went to one. We went to go see Ed. He had a show for Bare Naked Ladies. Had a show up in Dallas, and we went to the only thing that was open in Dallas after a rock show. So it was late at night, and we went to this place called Redneck Heaven, and it was the creepiest restaurant I've ever been in my life. It was like somebody went to a Hooters and said, "I really like this restaurant a lot, but all these waitresses are over 18. So I want to start a place where all the waitresses are like 16 to 18." And it's like we were just in there just like this. Ugh. And Ed was like, I feel like I should like drive our waitress to school. She's the age of my daughters. It's just like the creepiest place that I've ever been in. Now, that being said, I don't know if they changed their policy or what their policy actually is. I'm sure everyone there is actually over the age of 18. So allegedly.
In redneck heaven. Where heavens go, where rednecks go when they've been
As
good.
far as I know, they've never had a biker shootout in the parking lot. So they got that going for them.
Waco's got a pretty rough history when it comes to shootings and such.
Do they?
I always heard a thing
Yeah,
about
the
Waco.
the Waco Waco.
Oh, David Koresh.
I always heard that Waco was the reason why it attracts so many odd people and religious cults is because it is the only city in the Western Hemisphere that's on the same latitude as Jerusalem and has a river that runs through it. And so it has some kind of like religious significance, like considered to be like
power.
the Jerusalem of the West, based on its
I've
location.
never heard that.
Never heard that
But
before?
I assume crazy people all know that.
sure-
Bernie, I got my eye on you
They're
now.
drawn to it.
They should put that slogan on a sign when you drive into it.
Tiny little letters. Welcome to our town. That's the same sea level as Israel.
Same latitude.
Let's
Same
talk about something that's a
latitude.
little bit more upper alley. So we're talking about the people getting trapped in the Greenbelt or whatever. Did you hear about the teenagers in Canada who got really high and then got lost in the woods. Like they said they couldn't find their way out of a bush, so they had to call for help. And like they came, I'll say it here. Police in Barrie, Ontario say 2 men who took an illicit drug had to call 911 when they couldn't find their way out of a bush. The call came in Tuesday from the pair who said they were lost. So the police came, they found 2 19-year-old men who were, quote, silently staring off into the sky.
Oh my God.
Took them a long time to figure it out, but it says took several attempts to talk to the men to determine they consumed an illicit drug and were extremely disoriented. They were taken to the hospital for their own safety, and police says no charges will be laid.
Oh, that's nice.
That's all. That's Canada, right? It's
Yeah.
like, there's just 2 idiots.
They're stuck in a bush. They're like a cat. They're like a cat. They call the fire department and pull them out with the ladder.
I met a Canadian dude at the gym today. He was a Rooster Teeth fan. I think his name was Eric.
Oh, yeah?
And fucking sweetest guy, super nice. Canadian. I want to go to Canada sometime.
Canada's a great
They
place,
seem like
man.
awesome people up there.
Except Canadians are always quick to correct me when everyone says that Canadians are so nice. That Canadians think other Canadians are big assholes.
Really?
And I'm actually, like, going to Toronto. We used to go to a huge fan event in Toronto every year. I ran into some serious assholes in Toronto. I mean, they were like
French.
like on the bus and stuff.
I ran into
Really weird
crazy people
Yeah.
while I was walking through the streets or driving.
Well, it's Toronto, though. Culturally, that's a lot different than the rest of Canada, though, right?
Then okay, why Toronto is different?
Because it's like more of a. I'm not saying French people are mean, but I'm just saying culturally, it's more of like
no,
a.
Quebec is more.
You're thinking of Montreal.
I'm thinking of Montreal.
Yeah, you think of Montreal as being
I
more
am thinking
French.
of Montreal.
Yeah, Montreal's awesome. That's where I went to the Just for Laughs convention. That was a lot of fun.
Just for last, what was that?
It's you ever see those things that are on TV, or like videos on the internet, where it's like clearly a prank show, but there's no language spoken in it at all? Like that came out of Just for Laughs, I believe, or was picked up by Just for Laughs.
I think it was. Yeah, it was just for laughs.
Yeah, and it's a big comedy festival that takes place in Montreal.
I don't know how people that do prank shows don't just get their asses beat constantly.
They do.
I've
They
heard
do.
about. I saw that video where the guy got like knocked out, but man, I'm wondering when that's gonna happen.
Sacha Baron Cohen's got
Man,
in some
do
pretty
you remember my
hairy
knee-jerk
situations.
reaction when Chris and Aaron said they wanted to make a prank show? I was like, we're not doing it. It's just like, we're not going to like ambush people in public or anything like that and make other people's lives miserable so that we can be entertained by it. But then social disorder turned out to be something totally different, Yeah. Where they were these 2 idiots. So, yeah, but it's always tough. Prank shows are just like, a lot of them are like borderline racist too. Like they
Yeah.
go into the hood, and just like kind of like basically try to get their asses kicked by somebody. So it's tough to watch those.
Or I remember there was a guy who was in like a bathroom stall and just had like a water bottle, and he was pretending. This guy's laughing. He was pretending to pee on like the feet of the people next to him.
Oh, there's better ones. There's ones where they'll
Bet-
fill up a condom with like mayonnaise and they'll toss it over and they'll be like, "What the fuck?" Or there would be like, "Oh, what's up?"
I'm also
what's
not
wrong?
saying it's not funny.
Oh, you're zoning
A
out.
lot of times they're funny, but they're
No, I was
they're at the
like they used
expense
the
of
word-
some other person.
They used the word better. That was funny.
Oh, there's another where a guy put
It was
chocolate
way better.
chocolate pudding on his hands and he asked for his neighbor to give him toilet paper and he grabs it and he like rubs his chocolate pudding.
Y'all
can
love the
on
toilet ones, huh?
Huh?
Y'all love the toilet ones.
He
don't
does.
you?
Apparently loves the toilet
it.
ones.
It's pretty funny. Things happen.
They have the one where the guy uses the wrong hand and flushes the toilet when he's on the phone.
Does he get his hands mixed up?
Calling it Blaine in it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we should wrap up.
Full
Something happened to
circle.
a guy by the government here, by the guy who was depositing too small of money. Apparently, that's a rule that you can't deposit small amounts of cash too many times. And the government, the IRS, seized his bank accounts.
What?
And they were only going to give him half of his money back.
What?
Did you hear about that?
No.
I'll look it up. It's some guy like in North Carolina owns a small little like mom and pop shop. And one day the IRS was in his office, was in his store, and they said, "Yeah, we're seizing your." The federal agents then showed McClellan paperwork that included deposits to the store's account at Lumberry Guarantee Bank. The statement showed 2 deposits made within a 24-hour period, totaling $11,400. The statements, they said, indicated he had a history of consistent cash deposits of less than $10,000, which is illegal.
What?
It's illegal to make deposits on a regular basis of less than $10,000.
So is everyone who gets paid a regular paycheck?
They have a
breaking the
name
law?
for it. It's called. What's it called here? I'm trying to see. If they showed up and they asked me, "Are you familiar with the term?" Whatever. It's my
Maybe
livelihood.
the paycheck thing, something linked to your employer, is different. Maybe if you just show up and say, "Hey, here's $5,000." What? Maybe that's the thing.
It's called structuring. He committed structuring violations.
Totally gonna
And we
riff on
actually, I don't think, I've ever told the story about what happened to me when I got my bank accounts frozen by the government?
No.
When we first started Rooster Teeth, Rooster Teeth originally started as a DBA, which is doing business as. So it was Michael Burns doing business as Rooster Teeth. Okay, so it was just basically me. But then we had this brand name of Rooster Teeth before we became like an LLC and everything else. So all the accounts that ran through were all my accounts. And then one day, 8 months into us like selling DVDs, all my bank accounts were frozen. And I got a call from, it was Bank of America at the time. They called me and said, yeah, the government froze all your accounts. And I was like, what the fuck? I said, it's like always a nightmare as a business owner that you've done something wrong with the IRS. I said, I paid all my taxes. Everything's all square. I don't know why the IRS would freeze it. And this was 2004, early 2004. And they said, it wasn't the IRS. It was Homeland Security. Because we had so many transactions coming in for $20 for DVDs, and they were coming in from all over the world, they said, you need to show where every one of these dollars comes from. You need to prove where they come from. I was like, we're selling DVDs. We're selling them everywhere. And they were like, yeah, but Homeland Security locked my accounts. That's why I've talked about in the podcast before. I ended up on that fly watch list. I ended up on that. That's why I ended up on the fly watch list, was that. I don't think I've ever talked about it before because it was a money thing. We never really talked about money stuff before. But yeah, because we were selling so many DVDs and getting so many $20 transactions, the Homeland Security came in and shut down my account.
That's insane. How long did it take you to get it back?
Not long. Like less than a week to get it all unfrozen and everything, but it was crazy.
Right. What'd you do in the meantime?
Because there were records, you just have to show them.
Yeah, it was like, but actually what I said was I literally can't prove like where all this is coming from. They just want to make sure, because a big thing after 9/11, and this was right after 9/11, was how they got the money to pull this stuff off.
Right, like funneling.
Yeah, and they were like funneling money through all stuff. Money laundering was a big deal. So, yeah. So anyway, I thought it was interesting that it happened to somebody else, something similar, in a small guy where they just didn't like the way he was depositing money. They weren't saying the money came from ill-gotten gains or anything. They don't like the way you're depositing.
I get it,
but they should give it back once. You said they kept
initially
half of it.
until it got publicized everywhere, and then they gave him all his money back.
All right. Well, we should wrap up.
All right.
So I want to thank everyone for watching. We'll see you guys next Monday for another episode of the RT Podcast.
Just want to say I love the Department of Homeland Security. I think you guys are doing a great job there.
Bye.